I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gargano Show!
Happy Eagles opener! Man, I felt good. It is the kickoff opener on Friday night. This is unbelievable. Philadelphia gripped with opening day of the Eagles season from Brazil. It's so bizarre, right? Like, it's Friday. There's never been an NFL Friday game other than the Black Friday, but never for an opener. And I woke up this morning, I was like, wow, it's game day, man. It's game day. It's wild. The season's starting. Last night it kicked off with an amazing football game. I told VG this morning, I just love it. I love football. I love it. It's the greatest thing in the world. I must have said it to myself 20 times last night as I was watching that game. I don't know what it is, the grip of that sport on us, but it has us in a big way. Welcome to the Anthony Gargano Show on this opening Friday of the Eagles season. We're brought to you by TrueMark Financial Credit Union. That's right. Check out TrueMark.com/PHLY. Stop into a local branch to learn more about the credit union difference at TrueMark Financial today. Yes, we get started tonight. Finally, after all that talk preseason, the most fascinating thing of tonight is we really don't know what to expect. Because obviously you didn't see the starters. It was a handful of games in the preseason. You just know about practice. But that's it. Like, what are they going to look like is a great mystery. They really are an unopened box. Like, you got a box of goodies. You have no idea what's in it. You know, they do the unboxing for baseball cards. Like, what do we got? Like, we got some great rookie card, right? And that's what they feel like. Like, you know they're going to be good, but you don't know how good. You don't know what they're going to look like. And that's what's so fascinating is that tonight at kickoff, we'll get to see a glimpse of who they are. Because right now, we don't know who they are. Here's what we know. We know that they have great personnel on offense, really good skilled people. But what's Kellen Moore? What's that influence going to be like? So what's Kellen Moore? What are we going to see? Are they going to go heavy Barkley? Is he going to be the bell cow and we're going to get Barkley? Like, we don't know what they're going to be. We just know that they got skill. You got receivers. You got AJ and Devontae. And I think Jahan Dotson makes a big play tonight. I would not be surprised if a Jahan Dotson TD happens tonight. Anytime score. I was right last night on Worthy. I could see Dotson. The way it's all set up, Jalen likes the deep ball. All those receivers they got, they're going to have a safety on them. And I can see it over the top to Jahan Dotson tonight. And I expect them to put up points. I expect a 30-point night tonight. Green Bay's defense, a little revamped. It should be interesting. I do think that Green Bay will probably score, and it should be a very high-scoring game. It should be really interesting. And they're on the other side of the ball. What are they going to look like on that side? We love the youth, but how long will it take for the youth to get into play? All eyes for me are on Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter, this is the year he turns in, perfect second year. This is the year he blossoms into just a game wrecker, a star. And if he can do that, that's going to help everybody along that line eat. And I think that's going to be the key to their defense because, look, you're young in the back end. Linebacker, you're still a little uneven. So you need some front. You need Jalen Carter. And I'm curious to see what you're going to see from Jordan Davis. And can he be a guy that impacts the game? Can he stay on the field? and can he impact the game? So tonight is a lot of unknown. Green Bay's good, right? I know people go, well, Jordan Love was no good early, and then he came on. Jordan Love's good, legit good. They have a great offense. Their skill guys go on forever, right? Between Watson and Wicks and Reed and Musgrave at tight end. I mean, they're really, really good. So they're going to score, right? And they're well coached. It should be a track meet of a game is kind of what it should be, what it's looking like. So this is kind of what we know, but we really don't know what they're going to look like, because if Green Bay decides, and I think they will, to pressure and blitz Jalen, does he have the answers? And my guess is that's all they're working on, that Kellen Moore will have them prepped. They know. One thing that's not a mystery is that the Eagles will receive pressure. The Eagles will see a ton of pressure on them. And if that's the case, and we know it, then you know that that's what they've been working on. They'll be prepared for it. They have to be. All right? If they're not prepared for pressure now, then the whole thing's a disaster. I don't believe that. I believe that Jalen will have a big year. I think they're just too good along all those positions. So I cannot wait. Last night was awesome. My God, could you get more thrilling than a toe? The tippy toe? How wild was that? Isaiah Likely looks like they get the touchdown to pull within one. They're going to go for two. Wait. Is he in? And the toe is on the line, back end of the end zone, and the Chiefs win 27-20. It was a classic duel. I mean, it was Mahomes and Lamar and Spags. It was football, man. So great to have it back. It's like, your best friend coming back into town, man. It was a great night last night. Good morning, my boys. JP, John Zapata, VG, Violations, Greg Caputo.
Bom dia. We can't say buenos dias. It's bom dia.
Well, now that's Portuguese?
Yes, Portuguese.
All right.
So good day to all. Go Birds. Valpasados.
I love you guys, man.
Birds.
You guys look great. You guys look fantastic.
Oh, thanks, man.
I love it. I love that Harold jersey.
Dude.
Yeah, got the good lids on.
I like your energy. My
voice.
ear's a little blown out from that opening scream, but yeah, I'm with you.
Oh, my God. It's so good to have it back. I mean, it was great. I had a great day yesterday because we had a great show.
Yes.
At Primo's, always fun. And then Anthony had his first football game, right? So St. Augustine played Paul VI.
Hey.
And Ant
Big
won.
Catholic League match.
Ant won. Ant had to play well, right? Had a couple tackles. It was good. And then he got on the field. It was nice. And then Massimo had a scrimmage. So I hightailed it from St. Augustine to Clearview to watch Massimo.
I love it.
You got to get Dom to get you a police escort over there.
And then I grabbed Massimo, and then I took him home, and we watched Chiefs and Ravens. I got in just to kick off, and I was like, oh, my God, how great is it to be able to watch that? I don't know. I feel like such a loser, but I love it.
No, I was all in, man. I flipped back to the Phils on commercial breaks, I guess.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up because I felt immense guilt last night.
Need a little confession.
I did. I felt really guilty last night that I did not watch any of the Phillies. I checked on my phone. I was like, it's the Marlins.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they're winning. As long as you're winning, that was it. And I didn't put it on once. And I felt guilty about it. Man. I'm like, I can't be that, because we got to keep the Phillies alive. Yes.
You hightailed it off that bandwagon, man.
Phil's
just cruising into the sunset on you.
No.
Yeah, but it truly feels like when football's back, it's a holiday, right?
Yes.
It's like Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving. Like, it's here.
It's so bizarre, too, because, they are – it's the greatest reality show.
Yeah, it is.
And all those – like, I'm watching Andy and Spags – on the sidelines, right? Because
Spags a little. out of pocket there a little bit last night.
Called timeout.
Yeah, run out sidelines.
I was once a
Relax,
head coach.
man.
He walked up. He had the. That's right. I'm not the head coach. Well, but he's the coach of the defense. So
Of course,
it is
the
my.
Chiefs get away with
I
it.
texted him last night. I go, "Yo, cuz, what are you doing, man?" He started laughing. He's an emoji guy. Gives you the crying, laughing emoji. But I'm looking at them. And I'm like, Mahomes, Lamar, Harbaugh, right?
Yeah.
They're all characters.
Yeah,
and
dude.
really, it's almost like a TV show in a lot of ways, right? Like,
Yeah,
you
and it's
see them
big
all.
production. The
Right,
music's good.
And you see them all you've watched them over and over again. Like I tell Spags all the time, I'm like, dude, you're a star, you know that. And like during the game, they cut to you 25 times.
Yeah.
Like they cut to you 25 times. And he's like, dude, I don't even feel like, doesn't even register. He's like, I just want to win. That's it. I just need the pressure.
Just trying to stop Lamar. That's it.
Right. He's like, it's a headache. You don't understand. It's a headache.
He's like a recurring character in our soap opera. I mean, it's like, how many seasons has Spags been involved in this story? I mean,
Right.
And Andy, it's like 30 years it feels like at this point.
It's funny. You see him, he looks like skinny Andy, right?
Husky.
Yeah, but he's not. He's not.
No, he used to be big red. Now he's like husky red.
Yeah, you're right. He's husky red.
Yeah.
But it was funny because like they'll do the best is these interviews for the coaches. They say nothing, right? It's the biggest waste of time.
Oh, the halftime one.
Oh, Harbaugh's like, we just got to stop. We just got to execute. Like, they all say the same stuff. Like, why do you even bother?
And they act like they just got the greatest piece of, thanks, coach.
Yeah.
Told you nothing.
But it's great. Like, the broadcast, Tirico, it's, I don't know. I love it, man.
Great matchup. And it was advertised.
It was. And the fact that you go to the end.
Yeah.
Right? And you go right down to the toe.
Good camera work, man. So often I feel like we don't have the right angle. They were all over it last night.
That NFL, though, listen, there's a million cameras all over the place.
Harbaugh's running out, or Harbaugh's running out.
Yeah.
Two. Wah, wah.
Yeah.
No. Not
Do
today.
you go for two in that spot?
No, I mean, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Week
either.
one.
No.
You would?
Get the win. Come on. Start the season off.
Yeah, week
All right,
one, you
no.
start the season off the right way. You go for it.
And if you lose, listen, 0-1, all right, whatever.
Yeah, but extend the game. Like you're evenly matched.
Statement.
There's statements like it's
Win the
week one.
game.
They beat you in
like-
the AFC Championship. You come in, you get that last
Yeah, if
touchdown.
you
real
don't get
quick.
it, then what?
Well, then
You-
you got to die on that hill.
You didn't make a statement.
As
Like,
Eagles legend once
I
said,
wouldn't
you
do it.
play to win the game, cuz.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I would take my chances in overtime.
Big Farts Jones calling him Ozempic Andy.
That's good, Farts.
Yeah, Fartsy always brings it.
He does. So I started the show talking to you guys about the Eagles are this gift, right? This box, and we don't know what's inside, right? Like
I couldn't sleep last night. I was up till like almost 3 o'clock in the morning.
I know
last
I had
night.
the same kind
Could
of
not sleep.
Yeah, I couldn't.
I was ready for
I was
today.
on my phone.
Yeah.
I was looking at openers.
Yeah.
We'll talk about them. But I'm the same way. I couldn't sleep.
Yeah, I felt like a kid.
You don't know what they're going to be.
No clue. You're assuming they're going to be decent. They have too much
Good.
talent
Yes.
not
Right.
to be
Like
good.
they're going to be good. I
much
think they're going to be
paper.
good.
Yeah,
So
right?
talented,
But
yes.
you just have no idea. I mean, we've made the comments that Kellen Moore is probably a step up from Nick, but he's not like a Walsh or anything. He's fine. So, and like the defense, a lot of question marks, but you got to go in thinking it's the first week.
Well, it's
12-5.
It's yeah, of course. Yeah, but you always have that.
They need like 3 balls on offense. I mean, keeping everyone happy could become a problem. There's a lot of egos in town on that offense.
Well, it's funny. Jason Avant we talked to Jason yesterday about that, and he brought that up. Like, listen, AJ's going to get fed.
Yeah, Barkley's not going to want to run the ball 10 times.
No, like you got that is one that's true.
Yeah,
That you're going to have to keep everybody happy.
Yeah.
In that sense.
In Kellen,
But
we trust.
I got to believe. I have to believe with all the spacing on the field that their offense is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like they're a 27 to 20 to 30 point average.
Yeah, we're 30. 30. It's got to be 30.
Yeah.
29 or 30. 27 is not even 4 touchdowns. I'm disappointed at 27.
Well, all right. You get my point. I mean,
Yeah.
over a long season.
Yeah.
the average. This is what you're going to average. Like, they should be that good.
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny because I was watching a little clip of Saquon in a presser, and the reporter asked him that exact same thing. Like, how do you handle that with all these talents? And, he said, like, the key at the end of the day is to win. And hopefully that they keep that mindset throughout the season because, like you said, it is tough. We've seen AJ in the past.
AJ goes, yeah, we're going to win, but I got to eat.
Exactly.
All right? Like, I got to eat.
We've seen it in the past few years with AJ.
I'm eating.
Yeah.
And then Devontae's going, a little about me. Right?
Yeah.
And then meanwhile, Goddard, who knows?
What?
But if the key's going to be Jalen going over the middle of the field. Which is another thing we talked about yesterday, and Jason talked about that, which was executing over the middle of the field is a big deal.
Yes.
And Goddard should be living there. I mean, he should have some space. If you're not going to, if you're going to not double team anyone, it's probably going to be Goddard.
You're going to have a linebacker on him.
Yeah, right. So he should be
beat most of them.
I mean, that's a big deal, man. That's a big deal. All right, so it is the opener. In honor of the first game, I have my 5 greatest Eagles openers.
Let's go, cuz.
Right.
That will go, we'll do 5-1.
5-1.
That work for you, Skeeves? Yeah. Good morning, Skeeves.
Good morning.
Skeeves, you have a nice, I like your jersey.
Solid Randall jersey.
Thank you.
cut.
Thank
He's
you.
ready for the
Undershirt
season.
as well.
Well, he
Yes,
does.
sir. Everybody knows.
Base
the
layer.
undershirt is on.
Sweet.
Yeah.
He's got the
Nice.
base layer.
Nice.
I love the base layer. Number 5, I have Carson Wentz, September 10th, 2017, on the way to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
26-39, 307 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a win 30-17 over Washington.
Going to be the first of a decade of good games from Carson Wentz, we thought.
We agree with that?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so
remember
much
that
hope
vividly.
and optimism.
All right. Number 4, I have September 4th, 1988.
Wow.
This is the Eagles' defense. Reggie White, you see him, 41-14. They beat the Buccaneers. 5 turnovers, VG.
I love it.
That was Buddy Ryan, Buddy Ball.
Yeah.
5 turnovers as they crushed Tampa. That year ended, of course, in the fog.
Oof.
That's
Oof.
That's how that ended that year.
That should have been Super Bowl number 1.
In the fog. Number 3. Let's go to September 12th, 2024. T.O. 8 catches, 68 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Hell of a day.
In a big victory over the New York Giants.
Flapping the wings and flexing in the end zone.
That was awesome. Number 4, Warp Speed. Chip Kelly's debut. All right, in Washington on a Monday night, September the 5th, all right, 2013. That, of course, was ridiculous. Up and down the field they went.
The broadcast team had no idea. They were blown away. It's just hearing their amazement of what they were seeing. Players on defense didn't know what to do. They were exhausted.
It was unbelievable, man. Hurry up offenses. And oh, my God.
That was another one. We thought, we got this guy's an innovator.
Yes.
We're locked in with Chip for a while
Yes.
here.
All I
got
see in
our
my
man.
head is Vic to Jackson for that 60-yard bomb. Like,
It was unbelievable. And just how fast they went.
yes.
My
Weapons,
jaw
yes.
was on the floor the entire game.
Mine
I
too.
just couldn't
The
believe
whole
what I was
world, the
watching.
whole league was
Yeah,
watching
mine
that.
too, man. I tell you, it was really, it
was impressive.
It was awesome.
Except
man.
those D coordinators. They're like seeing little things right away. It didn't take them long to catch up to Chip.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
They're smart dudes, these D coordinators.
But listen, the Eagles offense, which looked unstoppable 2 years ago in the Super Bowl year,
Yeah.
they countered.
Yeah.
They countered. And then, to me, the greatest opener of all time was the Pickle Juice game in Dallas,
No
September 3rd, 2000. This was one of the greatest games ever, of course, against the hated Cowboys. This marked, and I will point to this game as almost the line of AD, right? BC and AD. All right? Like, this is almost like Jesus' birthday for the Eagles.
Okay.
All right, now, I'm serious. Hear me out for a second.
I heard you say.
Because this game marked their relevance over the last 25 years. That game marked their relevance. It was the start of Andy's second season. They were going down to a blazing hot Dallas.
130 on the field.
Right. And yes, that's very good. And that's how they devised the pickle juice.
Yeah.
Right?
Andy became known as like an innovator there. Everyone was
Yes.
talking in the broadcast about, oh, man, he's smart to say
Yeah.
Andy Reid.
And what they wound up doing is Deuce Staley runs for like ridiculous
201 yards
Yeah.
on 26 carries.
Yeah, 201
It
yards.
was nasty. That
And
game.
people say, oh, Andy never runs the ball. And that first game, there it was.
Dude, that's like 9 yards a carry.
Yeah, they
He
gashed
also
him.
had 61 yards receiving. I did a quick look up on this.
Oh, I mean, like
Yeah, he
Deuce. Deuce was the offense back then.
Yeah.
He was a dual threat.
And Chad-
He could
and Chad-
catch,
oh,
he could
yeah.
run ball.
Oh, yeah,
very
he could.
hard.
No,
And like
without
how
a
you're
doubt.
saying, this is like the beginning of Andy. It's also because you know who the Dallas quarterback was when I looked this
Yeah.
up? Randall.
Oh, really? I thought it was
What?
Troy.
No, Randall was the quarterback
Oh
in that
my
game. in the
God.
box score. Troy Aikman played like one down or something.
Are you serious?
Emmitt Smith was in that too, no? In that game?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, my God. I didn't even know that.
That's a good nog, man. I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
That's a great
I
dog.
He's
was
on
just-
today.
I was just looking up some quick stats of the box score. I was like, what?
All full circle, cuz.
That's amazing. That's great. Pickle juice. They started the game with the onside kick. I told you that story yesterday when Andy saw the gunner leaving early and told Ike that we're going to run it. And Ike was like, what? And he's like, come on, man. What are you, a sissy? Oh, no, coach, man. Let's do it, man. Believe it. It was awesome, right? So that's your greatest openers. The
There we go.
one note.
Randall was 13 to 26 for 135 yards. He had an interception. Trot with a pick six this game.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember seeing that one. Was Chan Gailey the coach of the Cowboys?
Good memory. I think that's excellent,
Let's see.
JP.
Yeah, Georgia Tech after that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Doesn't have. Oh, yeah. No, Dave Campo.
Oh, Campo. Don't call me Campo States.
What do you think about it? I don't know if I love starting a season against a division foe.
No, I don't like it.
I like to start against like
Yeah.
Tampa or
Yeah, I
something.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I like Dave's
Because you're
matchup.
wasting the division foe on an already great night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you want to play the division foes when you're rolling, when you got
Right.
everything's together.
Correct.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Now, there's one note. The worst Eagles opener, I had to put this in because it happened on the season opener. The date was September 1st, 1991. The Dateline Green Bay. It was Lambeau Field. And Randall, 4 passes into the campaign, gets his leg snapped by Bryce Pop.
Bryce stinking pop.
feel like
And
I was there for
it's a reminder of how the football gods can be evil.
Mhm.
Like that was the Super Bowl year. They went through a zillion quarterbacks. Brad Gable, well, McMahon, he got hurt. And then it was Brad Gable and a bunch of stiffs. It was just awful. Like, and I remember it was like this was going to be the Super Bowl year.
Yep.
And it all ended like 4 passes into it. Oh,
I can't
I'll
believe.
never forget. I've never been in disbelief. Like, that was one of the reasons why when Wentz got hurt, I took it so hard. I was reliving that Randall thing, man.
That's a good point.
That was awful. My cousin and I, we were devastated. All
Yeah.
Eagle fans were.
It's just crazy how you guys have stood with this team for so long. There's a lot of heartbreaking
You got
memories
no
in
choice.
the 80s and 90s.
Yeah,
I
it's
know,
just
but
what
you know,
it
most
is.
guys would be like, you know what, screw this. I'll be a Chiefs fan.
Well,
I'll
that's the point. It's like, you must bleed to know bliss.
exactly
Right?
That makes 2017 more sweeter.
Yes.
You went through
Oh,
all
yeah.
that.
Yeah, you can't
That's
be a turncoat.
That's
you know?
that's right. That's exactly right.
Turncoat.
Fake a rat. You can't do that. Spot on, man. Spot on.
Fun.
All right, coming up, we're going to go down to Brazil and talk to Z Berm, getting us ready for the game, and we'll see what he's learned from down in Brazil. Going to a whole kind of snapshot of what it's like down there. At 10 o'clock, it's the Eagles opener, and man, my former colleague, who is a legend in this town, Angelo Cataldi, will join us. When I think about Eagles openers and I think about Eagles games, I think about Ange and the pregame show, and whether it was the vet or the link and all that stuff. So the great Angelo Cataldi will join us at 10 o'clock to help kick off the season. At 10:30, we'll go back to Brazil and we'll talk to Baldy. So we'll have got you covered. We'll try to get some callers. So if you guys are interested and give me some chance, all right, let VG know in the chat. Andrew Skeeves will check the chat and we'll send you a link. I know we got Black Gritty signed up for it, and I know we got
Coach Al?
No, Coach Al.
Uncle Frank.
Uncle Frank.
Coach Al.
All right.
Coach Al passed away.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Coach Eagles Super Bowl. That's Uncle Frank. He's
Never
the best.
forget that voice.
Uncle Frank is his family. So that's what's happening today. Hang with us all day long. TV Todd in overtime. So we got all kinds of good stuff for you as we get ready to kick it off. I'm nervous as all get out, right? Like, you can't wait to pass the time. Oh, my God. JP, take it away.
Absolutely, cuz we're all excited. It's opening day for our Eagles, right? We're all talking about family because Eagles means family. And when you're talking about family as well, I think of Empire Today because they are just like our family, and they're making sure that all of our homes have the right flooring because we absolutely need that. And obviously, look, this weekend we're all going to be excited with college football, the return of NFL football on Sunday as well, the full slate of it. But guys, if you have some time this weekend, I'm going to try to as well. Maybe reach out to Empire Today and fix those flooring because I need some new flooring in my upstairs. I'm sure you guys need it as well, and you definitely need to consider it with Empire Today. And with Empire Today, you get to shop at home convenience, the right product for your needs, quick and professional installation, and a price match guarantee. Empire Today is the best place to get new flooring. So, of course, they have copycats. But they can't beat Empire Today on quality, service, speed. So they advertise low-quality products that simply they don't carry. Empire Today won't promise you the lowest prices because anyone who does that is putting flooring in your home that they wouldn't put in theirs. And that's what I'm saying. Empire Today is like our family because they want what's best for us.
Empire
Today. I love it, cuz. So, ladies and gents, what you need to do here today, schedule a free in-home estimate. All listeners can receive a $350 off discount. Guys, $350? Woof. When they use the promo code PHLY. Again, the promo code is PHLY, $350 off. Just keep in mind, restrictions do apply. Make sure you let them know that PHLY sent you as well. And while we're talking about family, we're talking about making sure everything's upright, not just your flooring, but also our finances, okay? We saw Cuz a couple weeks ago start his credit union career, and you guys need to do it too with our friends over at TrueMark Financial. Finances are not fun. I completely get that, okay? I'm right there with you. It's not a fun conversation, but we need to make sure that in 2024, we are being better with our finances, all right? And they have some great tools over there, including their money management tool, which I love. It's available on their mobile banking app. So whether you have an iPhone or if you have an Android, you can download it. It's completely free, which we all love. And you can start your credit union career, and you can also start managing your finances as well. You can manage family finances. It includes budgeting for kids' sports leagues. Create a separate budget category for sports expenses to track costs effectively. Even involve your kids in budget discussions. Because, guys, financial responsibility can start at any age. It's never too early for that. And, of course, the best part about it is they want to make sure that your finances are secure as well. So if you happen to lose or, they get your card stolen, you can lock your card on their mobile banking app. It's one of my favorite features, guys. It's very convenient. So if you want more information, if you want to start your credit union career here today, you can visit truemark.com/PHLY, or even better, 24 branches in the area. You can walk in right now and get some further information, and you can start your credit union career right there as well. Just keep in mind, TrueMark Financial is federally insured by the NCUA and is an equal opportunity lender. And a big thank you, shout out to our friends over at TrueMark Financial, cuz.
All right, buddy. Here we go as we have reached 9:30 across the Delaware Valley. This portion of the program brought to you by the Bet Park Sportsbook, the online casino sportsbook. Gotta love it, Bet Parks. We'll give you a couple Bet Park selections coming up in a little bit, right? We gave you a little gift with Xavier Worthy.
Yeah, I hit a little four-legger last night.
Nice.
Yeah, you started the season off well.
With a four-legger.
Yeah.
Beers on VG.
Yeah, that's all right. We have Comprehensias
That's right, cuz.
on
Hell
JP, right?
Yeah.
The drink of the Brazilian firewater. You have the ingredients,
Yes,
right?
we have everything here around Baldy time. What better than Baldy and Caipirinhas?
Do you have ice and all?
Yeah, everything.
Dude, get a lot of ice.
Only thing is I don't have sugar cubes. We have sugar, but we'll have a caipirinha today.
Oh, dude, I'm in. I'm in.
Ice. Give me a lot of ice.
Not ice for me. I'm an ice man. I always make sure. All right. Speaking of Brazil, let's go down there right now because we're going to go live to our man. Wow.
Yeah.
Sao Palo. There he is. See Zach Berman on a Football Friday and live in the streets of Sao Paulo. How is it, my brother?
It is great here. I wanted to be outside to give you the scene. Everyone warned me before I came here, don't be holding out your phone in public. Now I'm doing a live show, so if someone grabs my phone, ratings will be great. Ratings will be great, but I won't have a phone for the game. I can't tweet anyway, so what does it matter, right?
Yeah. So what is the story with that? With Twitter, and are you is your wife tweeting for you back home?
Yeah, my wife's tweeting for me back home, so I'm texting her like, tweet this. Nick Sirianni said such and such. Isaiah Rodgers is out. And I'm sending her photos, sending her videos to put up there. And then I think she's having a little too much fun with it. She's never sent a tweet before this trip. And now, she's on my account and she's posting photos of the kids. So she's having a little too much fun with it. We're gonna put a halt to that when I get back. I'm gonna take over the account tomorrow night. I think she might actually be getting me more followers, so that could be a good thing. But no, if you go onto the Wi-Fi here, it's literally blocked. It doesn't come up. That's a real thing. And,
well, I didn't know that. Why?
I know there's ways around it, but no, just Twitter. I think it's it's a whole political thing with Elon Musk and someone from the Supreme Court here.
Yeah.
I'm not well versed in Brazilian politics. I'm only playing one on the Anthony Gargano show. But I'm trying to. But so far, honestly, no one has snatched my phone, and I've been fine sending my wife texts about Isaiah Rodgers. I think she's ready to stop getting like. Please put this out there. You got to get this up before McLean gets it up, stuff like that, right? So, we're having a good time with it.
I freaking love it. What's her first name, Zach?
Her first name's Emily.
Emily Berman. I love it.
The pictures of the family.
Z Berman and Berm. Yeah. I just love Emily.
True test is tonight during the game.
Yeah, is she going to be doing play-by-play for us tonight from you?
She'll probably make it to like the first quarter, and then she'll be sleeping. Right? I got my 7-year-old son. He's become like a diehard football fanatic. So he's got a flag football game at 5, and then he wants to stay up for the Eagles game. So we'll see how long he makes it. But she'll be tweeting until he goes to sleep. So you might get like first quarter information, and then the account goes dead.
That's great, dude.
They're saying in the chat, like the Brazil Wi-Fi connection looks fantastic. Maybe there's something to banning Twitter for broadband with.
I mean, it does look great. I have to tell you.
Clear.
I mean, it looks beautiful. How's the weather?
It's a little chillier than I expected. I kept hearing you're going to this beautiful South American country, and I'm in a hoodie now. The press box tonight's outdoors, which is cool because you get to experience the environment, but it's going to be about 50 degrees out there tonight. So it's a little on the cooler side, but yeah, like you just said, football weather. I'm going to appreciate that.
Well, it's winter going into their spring,
right?
So because it's opposite, and it looks like magnificent, to be honest with you. So let's get to it real quick, and then I want to get more culture from you. But let's get the football stuff out of the way. So what have you gleaned? You said no Isaiah Rodgers. We know. What's the latest on what we can think about for tonight?
Yeah, so you'll see Quinyon Mitchell play the whole game. Now, that was the case even before this. The question is, when they're in nickel, what does the trio look like? There's two options they could do. They could have Quinyon on the outside and then move to the slot and put Keely Ringo on the outside when they're in nickel, or if they didn't want to have Quinyon move between snaps, they can keep him on the outside and play Avonte Maddox in the slot. My guess is that they go with Keeley, but I wouldn't rule out Maddox there, just because it really depends on how much they want to put on Mitchell early and what
Yeah.
those matchups are. So it really could be the way the Packers are deploying their receivers. But that's kind of what to get a sense of in terms of the matchup. I'm expecting Nakobe Dean to start a linebacker next to Zach Vaughn. No other injuries of note from a lineup perspective. The Eagles traveled 7 practice squad players down here, which is more than they typically do. But because they had a little extra time down here, they wanted more bodies. They can elevate 2. The 2 that I'm guessing they elevate are Nick Gates to be their backup center, backup interior lineman, and EJ Jenkins because they need a 3rd tight end. Both of them made the trip. There are some other possibilities in there, but those are the 2 guys I would watch out for.
So I started the show, we were talking about the idea of the unknown, right? Obviously, with preseason the way it is, you don't see anything. The Eagles are almost the great unknown. We know that they're going to be good, right? You understand that the skilled people are really good, but you don't know what they're going to look like. They're almost an unboxing in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
What's Kellen Moore's offense? We don't know what it's going to look like with the Eagles. Is Saquon going to be a bell cow? You can get bell cow usage. Like, what do we expect? What's your best guess as to what this offense looks like?
Yeah, I think that it's going to be a matchup-based offense, number one. But I think it's really going to be focused on 4 guys. Like you keep hearing, all right, is Gainwell going to be involved? Is Jahan Dotson going to be involved? It's going to be focused on AJ, Devontae, Saquon, and Dallas Goedert. I think you're going to see a lot. I said this on the show, I think it was yesterday. You're going to see a lot from Devontae Smith. I think you'll see him play the slot quite a bit. You're not going to see as much of a reliance on the deep ball. You're going to see short and intermediate patterns quite a bit. You're going to see a lot of pre-motion. They're going to run the ball with Saquon. They're going to pass the ball with Saquon. The thing I'm curious to see is I'm guessing less like brotherly shoves near the end zone. I think they're going to hand the ball to Saquon near the end zone a little bit more. But you are right in terms of the mystery of this offense. It reminds me, it's not apples for apples, but 2021 going into the Atlanta game, the first game under Sirianni. And then also, I would say 2013, the first game with Chip, where I heard from someone, they really didn't show anything during camp, like not even preseason games in camp, right? Like they really want this mystery for Jeff Hafley and the Packers defense, and I think that's what I think the way it looks tonight will surprise some fans.
Will it look? Wow, it's interesting. So you're thinking that in the past, a lot of rotation at the back, that this is going to be a Barkley production. It should somewhere around 20 to 25 touches.
Absolutely. I mean, I can tell, I can't speak for Howie, but knowing Howie, he didn't pay $13 million to have Saquon be a rotational back. Saquon's going to be, as long as he's healthy, 275, 300 touch guy this year. He's going to be a bell cow. He's going to be a 3-down guy. Now, it might not look like 25 carries a game, but if you look at touches, I think he's going to catch the ball more than the backs have in the past. And I think they're going to use him in the red zone more than they've used some of the backs in the past. And I think there's going to be less of a rotation with Gainwell and with Shipley. I think those guys might spell him for a snap or two. But, when I put out the snap counts on Saturday morning, it's going to look different from the running back perspective than it's looked in the past.
Yeah, I got to believe that. I've been knowing Howie for a long time, so I kind of feel that. How about the uses of the middle of the field with Jalen? Will we see the middle of the field, something that we didn't see last year?
Yeah, I do believe that will be the case, and I've seen it during camp. I think you'll see more of the short and intermediate patterns in the middle of the field, getting Devontae involved there, getting the slant to AJ's been automatic this summer. You're going to see a lot of that. So I think it's an emphasis from Jalen. I think it's something that Jalen wants. I think short and intermediate passes, and I think the middle of the field is the place to do it, especially if you can isolate Devontae in a favorable matchup, which I think they're going to try to do.
Have you gleaned much from the Packers? And as we look at the other side of the ball, we know how good that offense is. They have a plethora of skill people as well. I mean, Watson and Reed and Wicks and Musgrove, and now you got Jacobs as the back. I mean, they have a really stacked offense as well. What do you expect on the other side of the ball for the Eagles?
Yeah, there's a lot of respect for Love, for Jordan Love, and kind of the way he finished last season and what he offers. So I think you will see, they know this offense is going to put strain on them. I'm expecting really the middle of the field. Like I said in yesterday's show, I think that's where Green Bay is going to attack. They're terrific in the play action game. Getting Josh Jacobs will help you even more there. I would watch out for Luke Musgrave and Tucker Kraft in there. But you mentioned those weapons, and I saw Matt LaFleur had a quote this summer where they don't have a number one receiver. They just have this collection of receivers, and each guy can become a number one on a given week. So you can get the ball to Christian Watson downfield. You can use Jaden Reed in the run after catch situations. So they have a lot of different options there. It's going to be key for the Eagles to win at the line of scrimmage, and Jalen Carter in particular. Yeah,
no, I'm with you. All right, it's funny. I'm getting lost in the background. I love it. It looks so great. So where did you go? Yeah, take us through your night last night. Your day, where did you eat? Where did you go? After the press conferences.
Yeah, so I was tied up writing until 8:00 last night, and then I went out, with a few of the other writers to. JP's gonna have to help me here. Is it the Jardins District? Jardins.
Well, in Spanish, I would say Jardín.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, my Portuguese and Spanish isn't very good. I've been using Google Translate to kind of communicate with the wait staff and whatnot. But I went to this. It was one of the best meals I've ever had. Where first off, the drink, the Brazilian drink that Baldy recommended, that's outstanding. It's like a mojito. Yeah. It's I hadn't had one since I came down here, and I've had 3 since I've been here. And it's kind of like a mojito type drink. Yeah, yes. I like it. I had steak both nights, right?
It's delicious. The fresh lime. There's the mint.
Oh yeah, the sugar. Yeah, it's legit sugar. I mean, this isn't like the grocery store sugar. This is like sugar straight off the sugar cane that they put in there, right? And so then, I had a steak last night that they flamed it tableside. I mean, and it was like fresh, medium rare. And I got to tell you, the conversion rate here, it's really good. The steak you get, you get a real high quality steak for the price of. I mean, it won't even be like a fancy restaurant in Philly. Yeah. So that's been awesome. And it's funny because is it the real, the Brazilian real, or so you see what the number is and you get a little sticker shock, and then you put the conversion into your phone and you're like, oh, this is like an 80-cent coffee. So you're like, oh yeah, I'll have 3 appetizers with this, and 2 more drinks, and we'll add up to $20 American, right? I did that. I went to a Brazilian, well, I guess they're all Brazilian steakhouses, but 2 nights ago I went to one where I had the whole salad bar there, and that was awesome. And then honestly, I'm not a big coffee guy, but coffee's a big part of the culture here. So and I haven't been on much sleep because I've been working. Coffee is high quality. Honestly, I mean, I wish I had 2 more days on this trip, because I kept, I heard before I came down here that they have the highest concentration of Japanese, citizens outside of Japan. There's more Italians here than there are, I think, in any city other than Rome. And I've had 2 dinners and they've been steak both nights. I want Italian, I want sushi, but I can't say no to the steak. I can't say no to the seafood. It's been really good. I know I'm not on to give you my food reviews, but I'm loving it down here.
We love that. We love that. Listen, it's a cosmopolitan city. I mean, it's 24 million people in Sao Paulo. It's legit. Like, Rio is a different vibe, well, obviously a beach vibe, and that's really their economic mecca in Brazil. Have you done? I mean, how's the city? I mean, it's huge, right? They have big skylines.
Yeah, skylines everywhere you go. It took 2 hours to get back from practice yesterday. It's going to take 2.5 hours to get to the game. There's traffic wherever you go. So I haven't really had a chance to explore the city because, I've been at practice and working. But, I had 2 good meals, and I'm here for the game, and I'm pumped for this game tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be great. All right, go ahead.
Hey, Zach, we got Baldy coming on. Have you had a Baldy sighting down there?
I wish. I've been looking for that sugarcane juice Baldy was talking about. But no, I think I heard Baldy's I think Baldy's been in Rio. So I haven't seen Baldy. Hope to see him tonight. I'm just warning my phone's down to like 1% here. So if I lose the connection, it's not because someone stole my phone. It's because the phone died. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to seeing Baldy tonight. And I want to know where that sugarcane juice is because he said that gives you a bigger kick than anything else. And I'm working till 4 a.m. tonight, and I got to go to the airport at 6 a.m. So I need a little bit more. I need something to keep me going. So I need to find sugarcane juice somewhere.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
There you go.
Give me a prediction. I need a prediction. What are we seeing?
Yeah, I like this Packers team, but I think the Eagles' offense is going to be legit tonight. I think they're going to put strain on the Packers' defense. I am going Eagles 30, Packers 27.
Love it.
Oh,
I love it. Zachariah, be safe. Great work, brother. You're the best.
Appreciate it. See you guys back in Philly.
See you, Z-Berm.
See you, Zach.
How about that?
Love it.
30 to 27.
That's good.
I see
Eagles
the same
win.
thing.
It'll be a good game. Lots of offense. I'm in.
Yeah, I think it's unbelievable.
Hey, just a tip to anyone who wants to get that sugar cane juice. The South Asian market in FDR Park on the weekends in the morning, all their drink carts do the sugar cane juice, and the lines are nuts. People are jonesing for that sugar cane juice.
Really?
Yeah, you can just get a cup of it, or you can get it mixed in with lemonade and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
I can imagine with the lemonade's probably ridiculous.
They got these machines. They put like the canes in and squeezes
Wow,
out.
They're
there.
all over the streets in Colombia.
I mean, that sounds incredible.
So what is it stronger than coffee?
It's just natural.
Well, it's
sugar.
sweet. It's
Yeah, but they're saying it's like a supplement to coffee. So I guess
it's
it energizes you that
like
much.
a
It
Jolt
wakes you up
Better.
like
Yeah.
that.
It's the sugar that just goes right in. It's like unfiltered, unadulterated sugar from that sugar cane. Like that's
You're getting pure
the whole
stuff,
thing.
brother.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd be buzzing.
No, that is the rest. That's the good stuff, man. Like that's it.
and it is amazing. Like this country's great, but we have a little problems with corporations and our food stuff.
Oh, they
when
kill
you
our
go
food.
out of the country,
That's
the
why
food tastes so much
It's
different.
way better.
Yeah.
No, it's why like like Italy. I'm the whole Italy thing. Like the food is fresh. And it's like that. You were just in Colombia for your wedding.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody does beef like South America.
Yeah.
Between Argentina, Colombia, and Brazil.
What's funny when I eat down there, right? Like I'm stuffed, and 2 hours later I'm hungry again. Like I want more food. And like here, like if I have the same meal, I'm stuffed for like 4 or 5 hours. I'm ready to go to sleep. But over there,
having a bunch of preservatives in your belly.
Oh yeah, it's all plastic. You know what it's all about? Our
It's
food
like
supply
fruit
no
tastes
good.
so much different.
It's the truth. All right. Hey, this is usually where we do our daily grind.
Oh, snap.
The brain's off. All right. But the brain gave me some selections to pass along.
Nice.
oh,
All right. He's out.
He's
South of France,
South of France.
drink a
Yeah.
little wine.
So
On a boat.
he's got the brain brought to us by the Bet Park Sportsbook Casino app. The brain is Oregon State -5, Washington +1.5, Baylor +17, Temple over 43, BYU +11.5. Then his NFL plays. Minnesota is a pick'em, under 43 in the Pitt Steelers game. Cincinnati -7.5. Atlanta -1.5. Carolina +4.5. Ew. The Jaguars +3.5. Cleveland At a pick, Chargers -3.
Okay.
Then he has.
Hey, he's got to give it
Hey,
a
we'll
7
tweet.
pro game.
We'll tweet these out. I'll send these in, and we'll
Just got to break this into a tweet thread with so
Yeah.
many characters.
He also gives you a legion of props.
Oh, snap, man.
James Conner over 51.5 yards. CJ Stroud over 1.5 touchdown passes. Pollard over 9.5 receiving yards. Goddard under 4.5 catches. Gabe Davis under 2.5 catches.
Yuck,
I mean,
that's an
who would-
ugly bet.
Ugly, right?
Gabe Davis.
I know. I don't even understand it. Malik Neighbors over 56.5 yards. Deontay Johnson over 47.5 yards. James Palmer over 39.5 yards.
I got to tell you, this Deontay Johnson is a boss. I'm going to be furious. I listened to Geek and Brad. I got him in 2 different leagues.
Yeah.
He better be getting 10 catches a game.
I was just
people are
about
high
to
on
say
him.
something
These
because
guys are all high on this
All
guy.
the-
On
yeah,
a bum
he has the
team.
Panthers winning the game, and I'm like, why are they so high? Is it because of Deontay Johnson being there? And it's like, I don't know, really. Like
I don't know.
Bryce Young, I'm just
Right.
not high on him. You know,
Chuba Hubbard or Chuba Hubbard?
Chuba Hubbard, like, come on.
I know.
How many times do you got faked out by him on fantasy? You know,
Well,
like,
you,
oh,
you-
it's
you
gonna
know
do
what
something.
it is? Like, they all love to be contrarians. So they take the team from last year. They think the team from last year is going to rise. That's kind of how it is. But sometimes teams are just bad, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one issue. All right, let's look at the Eagles game for a second. I'm looking at the Bet Parks Sportsbook app now. They are a 2-point favorite tonight,
Yes.
which is a weird number,
Let me
but
see what the
they're
action is.
2-point favorites. I have a play that I love. I just love it. Their team total is 25.5.
What's the what's the odds on that?
It's -108.
Oh, wow.
Their team total is 25.5 at -108. Take the over. Over Eagles. Over. If you want to be cute, you can play all kinds of things. Like if they score over 35.5, it's 5-1 for a pizza bet. But that's I like that more than anything. The over under for the game is 49.5. I
I
think
hear you. I mean, you might as well go in. Bryce Huff over a half a sack, plus 150. You got to think he gets one.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hope so.
I mean, what's Carter?
They don't have him listed. That's who I went to look for. They don't have him listed. On
Really?
What's Jahan Dotson? Get Jahan Dotson to score.
Players. To score.
Either to score or receiving yards.
His
too.
receiving yards.
Because I'm curious. I think he has one big play in him.
They don't.
Like I could see
I
him
don't have
having.
him listed on this.
He's
site.
not listed.
Yeah.
Who do they have to score the first touchdown?
Oh, I don't know.
That's usually Saquon's probably the
Yeah, I was gonna say
favorite.
Saquon.
Yeah,
Saquon.
yeah,
Makes sense.
yeah. It's interesting. It's good stuff. Who do you got?
The noobs are all over Green Bay, 66% of the bet, but the sharps, it seems like the money is coming in on the birds, 66% of the money. So I'd probably lean with the sharps.
All
Looks
right.
like a birds bet tonight.
Well, it's always a bird's
I mean,
bet.
yeah, but
Yeah.
analytically, if you're looking at these numbers,
Yep, I feel you. Hey, speaking of the Bet Park Sportsbook Casino app, did you lay down your 50-1 super odds boost yet at Bet Parks? Do it right now, all right? The Birds season opener tonight, 2-point favorites on the Bet Parks app. Again, over under the total we told you is 49. The official sportsbook app of Cuz and 4 for 4, and the only one that I'll ever recommend is Bet Parks. Bet Parks Sportsbook app and online casino is a great offer for new customers to kick off the upcoming season. An amazing 50-1 odds boost on your pick to win this year's championship. All right? All new users who sign up, make a deposit, get the 50-1 super odds boost. BetParks.com has all the terms and conditions. Get odds boosted to 50-1. Yeah, 50-1, all right? Like the favorites, obviously you can bet the Birds 50-1, Kansas City, San Fran, Baltimore, Detroit, Cincinnati. Download the BetPark Sportsbook online casino app right now and get your 50-1 super odds boost on your pick for this year's title. This is a limited time offer for new customers only. BetParks says terms and condition. BetParks.com. Terms and conditions got to be 21. PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland. You play for fun. You love to win. You bet. BetParks. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Love it, cuz. Listen, all this talk about football, and obviously with Z Berm, we were talking about steaks. I'm a little hungry, guys. I know it's 10 o'clock in the morning, but I want a nice piece of steak. So that might be my choice for Sunday while I'm watching football all day. And I just saw that our friends over at Ace, they got everything you need for grilling as well. Obviously, all the stuff for inside and outside the house, but for all my meat eaters as well. Guys, they have everything we need for grilling season. I got my eye on that big green egg smoker. Smoking the meats changes everything, okay, guys? You got to try to do it, whether it be smoking wings, steaks, chicken thighs, whatever it may be. It's fantastic, and Ace Hardware has everything, all right? But listen, if you need to get something around the house done, make sure you guys are keeping them in mind as well, because they have everything you need, from painting the walls, fixing a leaky pipe, you know, your dishwasher not working. They have that piece, that part that you may need for it as well. If you don't feel like doing it yourself, Ace Hardware has trained professionals that will come out to your home and they will fix it for you as well. Because look, just like me, we get a little lazy sometimes. We'd rather have a trained professional take care of it.
It's not even lazy. You get done right.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the beauty of Ace. Like, you know, listen, I'm all about like DIY.
Yeah.
But most people don't understand DIY. That's why you need Ace as the place.
The helpful hardware folks. And guys, right now, visit Ace Hardware Home Services online at www.acehardwarehomeservices.com, and you can get your next project started here today. So whether it be grilling or fixing something inside or outside the house, make sure you keep it in mind. Our friends over at Ace Hardware.
All right, buddy. Coming up in just a moment, we're going to talk to Angelo Cataldi. Looking forward to talking to Ange.
Yeah. Should we just do like a minute of Phils? Phils are in first place now in National League. They have the tiebreaker with the Dodgers. The Brewers have lost a couple. The Braves lost to the Rockies. They're getting a little bit of
look at that smile on him.
A little bit of separation now.
He's not panicking anymore.
You know? No, this is good.
Yes.
This is good. The only question I have, Ranger did not look great last night.
His command was fantastic. The velocity, yeesh.
Yeah.
Like 46-year-old Jamie Moyer.
Yeah, that's the only thing with the Ranger that we need a little bit more.
Got some time, but yeah, it's concerning.
Yeah. All right. So I'm so excited for our next guest.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about a legend, right? When I think about the Eagles, and, you know, part of my Eagles life, right, growing up in Philadelphia, being a fan, too, because this is when I was younger. I would turn on WIP, and there was nothing better than either reading Angelo Cataldi in the Inquirer or listening to him. And then I got to work with him. And it was an amazing experience. I learned more about radio from him. He is a true legend in this town. The great Angelo Cataldi joins us.
Woo! Come on, Ed. You're piling it on now, cuz.
I mean, look at you. It's so good to see you, man. On the day of the
you look
Eagles
great,
opener.
cuz. You look amazing. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. I wish you great success in this new venture. I really do.
Thanks, brother. It means a lot. You were always there. I mean, if I tell people all the time about the real you that I got to know, and you are incredibly bright, incredibly creative, and just an amazing teammate, big brother, your family. You're just one of the great people that I've ever encountered in this business. There's not a lot of great people in the business. You're one of them.
All right, and I'm writing you down now. You're going to do one of the eulogies when they put me down for good, all right? Thank you. I can't believe you. That is so kind. Thank you, Ed. I mean it, buddy.
What does it mean? Like the Eagles over. First of all, I got to ask you, on a day like today with the Eagles in Brazil, do you miss it?
No. You know, the thing is, I did it for 33 years. And the last 3 or 4, I knew the clock was ticking. And I probably would have left right around the time that we had the pandemic. Because that was enough. Because, I mean, come on, 33 years. waking up at 2:30, 3 o'clock every morning, preparing. You know me, I was maniacal and making sure I crossed every T, dotted every I. And no, when I was done, I'm really happy to say I was done. So when I watch it now, and here's the other thing, Ant, what your audience is about to hear, they're going to go, thank God he's not on every day. This would kill me because I'm looking right now, the Phillies, I'm not a believer yet. I'm sorry, I'm not. They got too many games against teams that are just totally awful. And the Eagles, where do I start? Are you one of these 12 win kind of guys there, Ant?
Yes, I'm all 11.
Ah,
You see it. You see it. Like best. Let me ask you. You covered this team, right?
Yeah.
You've seen them. This is not the best collection of skill guys they've ever had.
Well, see, all right, pure talent with all the young guys they put into defensive secondary and Saquon. Yeah, they got amazing talent. And you may not agree with me because he's a paisan. Sirianni is awful. He's horrible. He had 7 weeks last year to figure out what the world knew that there was something dysfunctional about that team. He did nothing to fix it.
Yeah.
And then he basically sold his soul to the devil to stay on with no authority over anybody.
It is weird.
He doesn't run the offense, and he's not running the defense. We know he's not doing special teams. The only thing he's doing is news conferences, and he stinks at that too. No. This is, Ant, you want the hard, cold truth? No. Ask me how many wins this year.
Oh, my God. How many wins, Ange?
5.
What?
5 wins.
No.
5 wins. No, it's at the defense. When you guys have analyzed how great this defense is, have you considered the fact that they could not cover a pass the last 2 months of last season? What makes you think they can now?
All right. So let's start offensively before we go to defense, right? So offensively, and everything you said about Sirianni is right. I've never seen a coach who comes from the offensive side of the football who is basically neutered. They're not running his offense. It's wild, right? But you get a proven play caller in Kellen Moore who at least comes in and will give Hurts answers to pressure. Little things like, hey, we got hot reads, we got motion, basic kind of things you now have. You have a bell cow back in Barkley. You have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, and now you also have a third receiver in Jahan Dotson, who's a speed guy, who you can put inside the slot and outside, right? Put Devontae in the slot if you want to do that. So all those skill players is spacing on the field. Your line, you still have, now obviously Kelsey's a big loss, but you got terrific tackles, right? Really good tackles. The interior should be good, right? Obviously, until you see it, you worry about Kelsey. That said, the offense, I don't know how the offense doesn't put up points. Real points.
I'm going to tell you. Let me tell you how, because I agree. Every single thing you said, I agree with. I'll go even further and say the top 3 receivers on the Eagles on this roster is the best top 3 they have ever had in their history. That's how good these guys are, right? Are they going to finally stop the blitz? See, that's the reason they got destroyed at the end of the season was they could not figure out how to stop the blitz. And that was with Kelsey on the field. Now he's off. And I honestly believe one of the biggest reasons they signed Barkley is because he's a terrific blocker. And that he will stay back there and pick up whoever's coming through unmolested the way they did 10 times in the Tampa game. But I got to say, they never even put him on the field during the preseason because there was a light shower before a game. When did football start to worry about whether there was a dew on the grass. I can't. Oh, the dew. I don't want anyone to slip. It's football. What the hell's wrong with you people? But you're right. Offense, they're going to put points up. And don't leave out my man Hurts. I love Hurts.
Well,
You know what I love
I was
about
about to
Hurts?
say, he's the key to the whole thing, right? Like, he wasn't given the answers last year when it came to pressure. And listen, unless Kellen Moore is a complete idiot, right? Which I don't believe he is, then he'll have the basic answers to pressure, right? And that's what it's going to come down to. Oh, the middle of the field. All he's got to do is see it, right? Use the middle of the field. Like you said, he's got Barkley to pick up, blitzing, leak out. We'll have man coverage everywhere. So that's where that's what gives me confidence in the offense. And then Hurts was healthy. His legs, as you know, are such a great weapon.
100% on all of it. And one other thing I want to say before we move any further, because you and I come from a background of journalism, these jackasses in the media who are giving Hurts a hard time for answering questions honestly, go back to school. They asked the guy, how you feeling about Sirianni? And he kind of gives a hedgy answer because it's the way he felt at the time.
Yes.
Oh, they weren't supportive enough from the coach who oversaw the worst collapse in team history. Oh, my God. And this is the problem. That kid, with the right people telling him how to play, helping him to figure all this stuff out, is going to be great. I have no doubt about it. And they will put points up this year. You're 100% right. Until Barkley inevitably gets hurt, because he gets hurt every year. And if at any point Lane Johnson goes down, cash your chips. That's over. And I'm worried. And the Kelsey thing, I don't know, man. You better have good leadership on that offensive line, because that man right there, that was as good a leader as you'll ever see in your life.
Yes.
And if they can figure that out offensively, and Kellen Moore is really good, they're going to have a lot of points on the board. The problem is going to be the other side of the ball. Big problems there. Big problems there.
Well, listen, I agree with you. I mean, we all saw last year. Now, they do have a lot of young talent in the secondary, right? Like, you got the two best players, I think two of the three best players other than Kool-Aid in college football. Now, it's going to take them time. To me, it's about Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter has to be a game wrecker because that'll help the edges get pressure because Carter's so good. But listen, pressure's a big concern for me. I'm worried about that side of the ball too.
The problem with that side of the ball is that you remove Fletcher Cox, a leader, coming off the best year he had in 5 years. He finally retired. Hassan Reddick has been the best defensive player for the last 2 years. He's gone. You added Bryce Huff, who is basically not an every down player. And a lot of young kids in the defensive secondary. The linebacker core is still not there. And it does not, you don't come to a conclusion that that's going to be a good defense. I think they're going to struggle on both the run and the pass. I know they're going to struggle on the pass because they don't cover anybody coming out of the backfield and they don't cover tight ends. So hopefully Vic Fangio is going to change that. But all I know about Vic Fangio is, and I like an old school guy, but after 1 year in Miami as their coordinator, they called him an Uber to take him to the airport. They couldn't get him out of town fast enough. So I don't know if he's the answer, but they're either too young or too old in the secondary, and they're unproven in the front line.
Listen, I can't argue with you on defense. That's a lot of hope. It's a lot of hope that Trot Jr. or Nakobe Dean and these young players, Jordan Davis can stay on the field and in a 50 front be able to give you a push. I mean, a lot of ifs, a lot of hopes. I mean, I feel you on that, man. I do.
I got to ask you one other thing about Jordan Davis. It's been bothering me. Now that I'm retired, I get bothered by really dumb stuff like this, right? But Jordan Davis is a tremendous talent. right? You couldn't get him ready to play a whole season. You got him ready to play half a season, and then he was really not a huge factor. Where's the training staff?
Yeah.
Where's the coaches to somehow work him so he could do a whole year?
Yeah.
Why can't he? Wasn't in shape?
Yeah.
What does that say about the way the organization is being run? And if people don't have questions about stuff like that, that kid can play, but he's
Yeah.
got to be in great shape, and he's got to be able to do it 17 games and the playoffs.
Yeah, I think you nailed it with the coaching staff. Like, especially last year, I mean, you had inexperience on offense with Brian Johnson, inexperience on defense and Sean Desai, and then you have Sirianni, who didn't have any answers, right? So at least now you have competent NFL coordinators that you should be able to rely on.
Here's one other thing I wanted to bring up. And I got to be honest with you. I did not make this point in the last 3 years I was on that Sirianni was the coach. But how many games into his first season did he realize that Shane Steichen was a better play caller than him? Because you wait your whole life to be a head coach. And then within a few games in your rookie season, you go, oh, wow, that guy, he's much better at calling plays than I am. Here, take the job. He must already know he stinks. He must. Who does that? Who has so little confidence that in their first season, a few games in, he hands the job over to Shane Steichen? Now, Sirianni, let me tell you something. I'll just say this straight up. The Eagles will never win the big game with that guy there. I don't care what his numbers are. That guy is a lousy coach. I got to interview him after every game for 3 seasons. All right? By then, you could tell if the guy knows what the hell he's talking about. Doug Peterson was phenomenal. He was great at it. Nick Sirianni, stunad. Stunad. Even he knows that word.
Oh, God, I missed you. I was going, Eagles, Super Bowl. Here we go.
See, this is the problem. If I was on the air, I can hear the stations clicking off right now. Who wants to hear this crap? So now you're stuck with it.
Oh, my God. Well, let me ask you, the Phillies, right? How do you not believe in this team? They're back. They had one little lull, which has to happen over the course of 162 games.
And Dave Dombrowski is a fantastic general manager. And this team should win the championship. It should. It's knocked on the door. God, yes. You activated the city. Yeah, you got everybody so excited. It's all there. This is the year for them, right? Thompson will figure out a way to blow it. Thompson is he is basically a protege of the robot Joe Girardi. And all he's doing, he's looking at pitch counts in the playoffs. He's looking at Zach Wheeler's pitch count in the playoffs.
Yeah, that was that was bad. This is
what you did it for. He's got a paint by numbers approach to how to use the bullpen. That team should win, and Hopper will step up in the big games. I know he will. I know he will. But I look back at last year, up 3-2 at home against an inferior team, Arizona, in your ballpark where you have owned it, and you lost the last 2 games.
I know.
And I go, nobody got that upset about it. I mean, it was like, well, look, we had such a great season. To me, it's not a great season unless I got confetti in my hair. I want a parade. But I'm not a Thompson guy either. I'm not a Thompson guy.
Yeah.
I think he's great in the clubhouse. They love playing for him and all that stuff. But in the big moments, I don't know that he's going to make the right calls.
Yeah, listen, I hear you now. You do like the bullpen now because Estevez at least gives you – now they have roles. I mean –
I like Estevez. Yeah, you're right. That was a great ad by Dombrowski at the trade deadline.
I'm with you on Dombrowski. He knows he's a great GM.
Great. Phenomenal. in stark contrast to Matt Klentak, his predecessor.
Exactly. Totally right. There's so much I had to ask you about, but I do want to start with the book, all right? Because the book is phenomenal. It is incredible. Everybody should buy it. If you haven't read it, loud, you got to get this book. It's, we got holidays coming up. So if you didn't buy it, which you should, you got to get it now. It's incredible. What was that process? Because we talked a little bit about it. How cathartic was it for you to write this and to really talk about this in your voice, which was just beautiful?
Well, first of all, I want to say that many times during it, I was channeling you. Because of all of us guys that made the jump over from journalism to sports talk, you're the writer's writer. You are the guy, all right? And I went, wow, how Gargano talk? So then, of course, because I always have to make things harder, I find a publisher, Triumph in Chicago, and I tell them, well, I'm not going to sign unless you guarantee me you can release the book the same year I retire. I retired a year ago, February, and I wanted it out by Thanksgiving. And they agreed to do it, but I had a deadline, 100,000 words in 7 weeks.
Oof.
Now, I'm pretty sure you're the kind of guy that really shapes it and makes it just right? I'm not that type. I'm not Al, Al could do a sidebar in 12 minutes and be Al Morganti, my co-host. I'm not that quick, but I did sit down. I already knew the structure of it. And I sat down and I relived basically my whole life, but especially those 33 years in sports talk. And it was a joy. And the thing about it, this is where you and I are different. When I went to broadcasting, I kind of cast aside writing.
Yes.
You didn't. You kept writing. Then I went back to it after all those years, and I realized, wow, I like this more.
Yes.
I actually like the process of getting the right words to tell my story without, having to worry about, I should have said that differently, in the moment trying to do a radio show. And I just fell back in love with doing that. So now on my website, AngeloCataldi.com, I have a blog. I write every week. I don't know if anybody's reading it. And honestly, I don't really care that much anymore. Just the process of writing about like all this negative stuff. I've been writing this about the Eagles. So I have probably follows now about 7 or 8, 6 of them family members. But honestly, and it's writing is, and when it came out, unlike almost everything I ever wrote before, even though it had a few typos in it, when it came out, I went, yeah, that came out the way I wanted it to. How rare is that in a writer?
Oh, so rare. Because you are always second guessing yourself. It never fails. And it doesn't matter whether it's a book, a magazine piece, a screenplay. I could have done a better job with that. And you never want to let it go. Like the fact that you let it go, you had that kind of deadline. For me, it's always about, I never want to give birth. Like I want to keep redoing it and doing it. And you never let it go. And you almost hamper yourself. So it's impressive that you turned it around. And you don't realize that, we don't realize as writers that they don't know what you thought you were going to write. They just know what you did, and what you did is brilliant. And what you wrote, I felt it. Like I felt, I lived it, but I actually now felt it through your feelings, which really got me. I did. You were so good at it. I mean, I don't know how you. It's amazing how good you were at doing this, man. An amazing interviewer.
Not that great. Hold on, I got a great story for you. So the book comes out, and the book is selling well because they were on the fence on whether they wanted me to do the audiobook. So they said, all right, you know what? We want to do the audiobook. Send us a chapter. Just read the first chapter for it. So I sent them the chapter. 1 week, 2 weeks, no response. Third week, I email them and I go, are we doing the audiobook? What's going on? They went, yeah, but we heard your chapter, and we think we want to go in another direction for the narrator.
What?
I went, and they went, we think we want to get a professional broadcaster. No,
Oh my God!
I'm not lying. And the thing is, I don't sound like the great Maurice. I don't have that kind of voice, And they thought, well, what if we got in a guy? And I said to them, I was willing to compromise. I said, if you can get Morgan Freeman, I'm on board. Otherwise, I got to do it. And they finally agreed, and I did it, and they were probably right. I wasn't that great at it. It took like 16 hours to do a 10-hour thing, but it's available on Amazon and Audible.com. Because what I learned, and I don't know if it's true of your audience, I got a lot of people who listen to me that are not what you would call big readers.
But that's the beauty. The beauty of you and the beauty of WIP was that it spanned all walks of life. Let's be real. Like there were surgeons who had us on in the operating room. I remember them telling me that they would listen to us all day long because it just, took their mind off things. They could focus. Everybody's got their own thing. And the beauty of WIP was it was a town hall, right? It was anything that happened in Philadelphia. You went to WIP and you went, what's Ange going to say, and Al and Rhea and the cast of characters. But let's live it together. It was the community. Everybody now talks about community. That was community before community.
That is such a great explanation. It was living it together. That's exactly what it was. A loss. I think we had bigger audiences after losses because people are trying to get over them. And they got to hear what other people were saying about it. And then when they won a championship, the joy, oh my God, that was the greatest drug anyone could ever have. We were on a high for 6 or 8 weeks where it was so awesome when they did that. But you're 100% right. It's sharing the experience with the most passionate people who follow sports in our entire country. And that was a great honor. All of us were really privileged to have that chance, Ant. We really
You know what's amazing about you, though? You understood the entertainment value, right? Like, you could put on a show. Like, a lot of times we got caught up, a lot of other hosts, including myself, we get caught up in the sports piece, right? Like, really, knee deep. And you had that covered. But what you also were brilliant at, and I saw, like, the pregame shows, Eagles pregame shows were unbelievable theater. Like, it was incredible. Like, you would go down, whether it was the vet or the link, man, before the Cowboys, I remember getting my start as your parking lot correspondent. And I would go to you. You remember that?
Oh, yeah, now I do. I do remember that. You were man on the street kind of guy.
I would go to the
some
tailgates.
Of those people were drunk, and some of those people have been drinking.
You knew how to create a character. Like, you would one after the other, man. Like, between the Dirty 30 and all the people, it was unbelievable. And before a Cowboys game, oh my God, it was like, I got to listen to it. It was the greatest thing in the world.
It was. We had the book starts with some of those stories, including the guy who brought a chainsaw into the tent on a Monday night game and nearly killed his brother-in-law. And there's a story. We were there when one of the great Eagle fans passed away right in front of us.
Yes.
That was unbelievable. Yeah. And the sickness and the 15-hour pregame show before the 1993 Monday Night Football game between the Eagles and the Cowboys. We had, man, I'll tell you, you don't realize it when you're in the moment, but it's like, wow, you couldn't recreate that now.
No.
Lawyers would not allow a man with a chainsaw into a tent with 1,000 people. Stuff like that can't happen now. And we caught it at just the right time before everybody took over and kind of just played it down some. Legally, you had to worry. Like it's the wing bowl. I got a whole chapter in the book about the wing bowl. You couldn't get the wing bowl approved today by lawyers.
No.
You couldn't do it.
No.
All those, we had the first 15 years out. We had all these people eating chicken wings, jamming them in their mouths. We didn't even have a doctor there. We made a joke of it. We brought a vet on. We had a veterinarian there if anybody got a bone stuck in their throat. I mean, those things don't happen now. They don't. It's over. That part's over.
Hey, but you know what I love too is that you were unafraid. One of the things I admired about you is that you were fearless in so many ways. Management, it didn't matter. Whatever beliefs, and this was why you were a great journalist. And quite frankly, this country needs journalists like you were back in the day, which is fearless, right? Like you were what you believed in, what mattered, you stood up for it. It didn't matter who was killing you or who was against you or what powerful entity was coming down on you.
Well, I'll tell you, I didn't fully grasp. I don't disagree with you. I put it all out there. I didn't care if I was alienating my own bosses or the people that own the station. And it went back to when I was at Columbia University. And the first day I was there, I went to see my advisor, this old guy, Norm Isaacs, who ran the Louisville Courier-Journal.
Wow.
And I said, Mr. Isaacs, I want to take my Columbia education and go into sports. And he goes, what? Sports? So he said, you got to make me 2 promises or I won't even let you get to the first day of class. Promise number 1. Yeah, under all circumstances, you make sure that you do it the right way. You become a journalist. You hold everybody you cover accountable. You're covering that locker room the way you would City Hall or the White House. Hold them accountable. Put their feet to the fire. And number 2, under no circumstances do you tell anyone at Columbia for the next year that you want to go into sports, because they'll throw you out. But I held to the promise, and I always went, all right, well, if I got this great education, why don't I use it?
Right.
And really, and I didn't fear these people. None of them were inviting me over for Sunday afternoon dinner, right? I didn't try to make friends with any of those people. I didn't care. I only cared about the people listening, the audience.
Yes.
Because if they cared, they empowered me to tell my bosses to go to hell. There's a thing in this book, Ian, where I reprinted a clause I had in my contract in 1995 that my boss, Tom Bigby, a man you know very well, could not speak to me without my authorization. And I invoked it in 1997 when Mike Tyson bit Evander Holyfield's ear off. And Bigby called me at 6:10 in the morning and said, get off this. We don't talk boxing on WIP. And I told him, I used a bad word, and then I hung up, and I did the 4 hours on that. And after the show, I said to him, oh, by the way, I'm not talking to you anymore. Check my contract. I don't have to. He didn't even know it was in there. He didn't even know it was there.
I love that story.
It was so great. And it was like, for 2 years, I didn't talk to him.
It was great. That was fantastic. There were so many of those kinds of things. I got to ask you 3 things because I could talk to you all day long. One, how about Jonesy becoming president of the Flyers? It's awesome, and I just imagine you and there was nothing better when Jonesy would be there with you.
It's an amazing thing, and just a quick story about him. So he calls me a day before they're naming him the president, right? And I go, oh, geez, Jonesy, in the book, I retell the story of the first joke you told on the day you came in. and it was kind of dirty, right? Right. And I told it, and I had even called him when I was writing the book and just transcribed he told the joke again for me. I went, I don't think that's a good thing coming from the mouth of the president of a team. So he goes, don't worry about it. Whatever you think is fine. So I'm letting people read this thing and they're going, oh my God, he said that on the air? That's insane. So I finally made my own decision. I took it out. I didn't see him till a couple of months later. And he went, oh, thank God you took that out. I don't think they'd have kept me if I did. The cancel culture today. So that's Josie. Josie did it. That's Josie. He's just the greatest. I'll never root harder for anyone, Anthony. I will that guy will turn the Flyers back into a terrific team. I think he's got the right attitude for it. Yeah. I hope he does. I really do. He's a great man.
We believe it. We believe in him. He just has that way about him. He'll do it. He'll accomplish it. And I guess, just to put a bow on this thing, because, by the way, you're going to be going to Eagles, New Orleans with Philly Sports Trip, which is awesome. Vince and Philly Sports Trips, they have True Fan Travel, the whole thing, and they put on such a great show. They're in Brazil right now, and you're going to be going to New Orleans, hosting a trip, which everybody's going to go, because to be with you before a game, I think I'm going just to come and hang with you before an Eagles game.
Please come in. It's phillysportstrip.com, and they have chartered a flight all the way to New Orleans and back. And I'll be honest with you, I did this a lot when I was first starting out, my first 10 years at WIP, but I hadn't done it in a while because there was some odd things that happen on this trip. That these trips sometimes go awry, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
And by that I don't mean anybody. I mean some people act crazy and and you got to go and they bail them out. And, anyway, so here's the thing. Now, I did it because a friend of mine, maybe the guy I had the most fun working with in my last years at WRP, Hollis Thomas, called, and he said, "You got to come with us to New Orleans." And I said, why? And he went, man, you got to try the beignets.
The beignets, yes.
Oh, he said, the beignets, they're unbelievable. And I said, well, what else? He said, I know all the best restaurants. I said, Hollis, we're going to do anything but eat there? And he said, oh, yeah, we're going to do a thing with the fans. We're going on a cruise out along the water somewhere, I don't know where. And I said, you know what, Hollis? If Hollis Thomas is going to be there, that's a good time. I'm in. Because Hollis doesn't know how to have anything but a great time. And we will have a great time on that trip to New Orleans.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
We need you there. You have to come.
I think I have to. And then the last thing, what are the Eagle? We commence another season. The Eagles and you, simpatico for all these years, man. Like, we go back to Joe Banner and Jeffrey Lurie and Buddy Ryan and Randall Cunningham and all through the years to Kelsey in the Super Bowl. What do the Eagles mean to you?
Oh my God. Until they won the whole thing, I couldn't really answer that question. But it shows you how intricate the connection is between a fan base and a team and how special it is in our city. Because people that barely knew about the Eagles, little kids, became lifelong fans when that ball hit the ground and they won the championship against the evil New England Patriots. And there's no other team in our city that connects that way. The Phillies have a great fan base, but the Eagles are the lifeblood of Philadelphia. And that's why, man, it's so hard for me to ever say anything negative about them because I know that there are fans that are going, oh, shut up. They're my team, and they are their team. And of all the things that I got to do in my tenure on the radio, the fact that I got to know those fans and bond with them. They're still friends of mine. Eagles, Shirley, Arsenani. We see each other. Kenny from the Dirty 30. We got him a kidney.
That's awesome.
Got him a kidney. All those people, they're it's just such a great, great fan base. And that's why, even though I make predictions that are sometimes negative, when the game starts, I'm rooting for the Eagles because I'm rooting for those people.
Beautiful. Listen, we love you. You're a treasure. God bless you, brother. You are.
Because you're the best, man. I'll see you in New Orleans, buddy. Beignets. We're going to have beignets.
The great Angelo Cataldi. How amazing was that? Hey, JP, tell us about Rite Aid because we got lots to do. I got my main man coming up, Baldy from Brazil, but we got to do some bills.
Do some bills. That's right, cuz. And unfortunately, it's cuz's least favorite time of year because, football's here, but that means the fall allergies are coming for him as well. And that's no fun. You know, that's sneezing. You see cuz rubbing his eyes, right? You're doing the same thing. Your head feels foggy, feels like a balloon. It's not fun, right? And even though it is fall, typically people think it's a springtime, summertime thing. No. You can still get this bad boy in fall time. So Rite Aid and us as well want to make sure that you guys are taking care of yourselves and making sure you're avoiding the fall allergy, all right? The main culprits, as we all talk about, ragweed and mold. Other allergens include plants such as sagebrush, tumbleweed, and pigweed, guys. Pigweed. Dust mites and pet dander and fur, which, listen, I know as well. It's not fun. I got the dog as well. So make sure you guys are avoiding all these things. And right now, if you become a Rite Aid Rewards member, one other cool feature is that they have the pollen levels. They'll send you those emails. So you'll know if you wake up tomorrow morning and the pollen levels are high, right? It'll give you that ding, 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 that little alert. It'll let you know, yo, pollen alert high, stay inside. It's very, very, very helpful, guys, all right? So not only—
I wouldn't come out of the house. You've never seen it.
Yeah, that's right. You need that, cuz. So, guys, whether it may be, stuff around the house, you need a beverage, you need some napkins, maybe your wife or your girlfriend needs some makeup. Rite Aid has it all, but more importantly, Rite Aid has you covered for all your fall allergies. Visit your local Rite Aid today, stock up on allergy relief, or catch up on immunizations for RSV, shingles, and much, much more. Walk in or schedule a vaccine appointment today at RiteAid.com and stay away from that fall allergy, guys.
All right. I like that, JP. And Parks Casino. Let's talk about the casino. I tell you all the time about the Bet Park Sportsbook Casino app, but the casino, oh my, you want to talk about a mecca of entertainment in our area? It's the #1 casino in Pennsylvania, so close to anywhere, right? Street Road, exit off of 95, the PA Turnpike. The Excite Center is state-of-the-art entertainment venue inside Parks Casino, right in Ben Salem in the Philadelphia suburbs. Named one of the best places for concerts and comedy, and a great place to see the country's best comedians and music headliners. And of course, you got a great meal and all the games, right? The table games, the slots, the restaurants are amazing. But tickets are on sale right now for these headliners. So make it a date night, man. Make it a hangout night. You want to go to Parks Casino. September 14th, funny man JB Smooth from Curb Your Enthusiasm. He's one of my favorites. I love him. September 20th, Best of the Eagles, tribute band, the Eagles. September 26th, Joe Bartnick from the Bill Burr podcast joins Joe Conklin. Speaking of Ange and all, right? Joe's the best. The Juicy Scoop podcast on October 4th with Heather McDonald from Bravo and Chelsea Lately. October 5th, comedian Kev Herrera. October 25th, comedian Michael Blaustein. And November 23rd, comedian Steve Trevino. Parks Casino, this is how you win. ParksCasino.com to buy all tickets. You got to be 21. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, now it's game day, and we've been at it all day.
Ooh, the chat needs they're a little disgruntled with some of those comments.
Oh, Angelo with the 5 wins? I know.
You were fired up in there.
Oh, my God. I did not expect Ange to pick 5 wins.
No, people are not happy.
I did not expect that on game day. Ange to go 5 wins.
Just ruining everyone's bubble.
No, don't worry about it. Listen,
he's old. He's an old man. He's confused.
Yeah, let's go to someone who knows football inside and out, who is down in Brazil. Let's go to the great Baldy.
Baldy. Oh, let's talk some football. Baldy. Oh, he likes pizza and football. Oh, Baldy.
Oh, Baldy, live from Brazil, Sao Paulo. We saw him talking about the Caprainha and the Brazilian firewater. We saw him with Brazilian women. We saw him with Brazilians. He is the man of South America. He's the one, the only Baldy.
Well, bon dia, cuz. It's good to be with you. I'm looking out over the skyline of Sao Paulo from my hotel right now. It's been a fantastic trip. I just got to tell you, I've been in 3 different hotels over the last 3 days. Just nothing but Eagle fans. I met a couple Packer fans this morning at breakfast, but this city, again, in Sao Paulo, 10 hours away from Philadelphia, is just completely overrun by Eagle fans of all ages and from all over the world. It's actually something to see.
Wow. Oh, my God. This is going to be amazing. What's the vibe like? Like, you're going to be there tonight. You're going to do Baldy's Walk in Corinthian's Arena, right? Like, how amazing is this game going to be tonight?
I mean, look, I hope the weather holds up. It was raining this morning. It's still overcast. Maybe it'll clear up. That will help. But I think it's going to be a World Cup atmosphere. I mean, first of all, these tickets sold out in a half hour. Like, I don't know, whatever the stadium is, half hour of these seats were gone. It was a lot of local Brazilians. I've met local coaches here that coach the kids that are Brazilian. They got these sport leagues, these football leagues. They're sprouting up all over the place. There's tremendous interest. The city, if you're including the suburbs, okay, in the surrounding areas, it's 22 million people.
Wow.
I mean, so there's something for everybody here, but I think the atmosphere is going to be wild and crazy. And I know the fans are bringing the juice as well, but I can't wait to be on the field. The kickoff is at 9:15 local time, 8:15 your time. I know the Eagle fans are coming into the stadium around 6 tonight. I'm going to be on the field sometime around 6. We got a pregame show from 8 till 8:55 local time. So I'll be down there, up until when the players go into the locker rooms before they come out for the kick. I can't wait to capture the excitement, the feel, and that vibe that you're talking about.
Yeah, I will be locked in. So I was talking about to start the show. The Eagles are a bit of a mystery, right? Like, we didn't see much in the preseason. I heard they didn't even show as much even in practice. So it's going to be fascinating, the unboxing of the Eagles. And let's look at the Eagles' offense. What are you expecting?
Well, I mean, first of all, for any Eagle fan, I mean, forget about preseason. Preseason, we got through it. But I mean, the last time we really saw this team play, it was an embarrassment against Tampa. We think it's completely better. We think it's completely fixed. But we won't know until this game unfolds. They're getting a very good test with the defense in Green Bay that's completely different and completely new than anything they've seen, over the last few years with Joe Barry's. So that's part of it, is kind of feeling Green Bay out, how they're going to play us. We think we know. 4-man front, press coverage, rob the middle of the field. We know some of the basics of Mark Hafley, the new defense coordinator. But, even if you just watched last night's game, I mean, Xavier Worthy touches the ball the first time in the NFL, and he goes 21 yards for a reverse for a touchdown. He goes for, the game-winning score on a broken coverage by Baltimore, who's got a new defensive coordinator. But it's clearly a broken coverage, and Xavier Worthy dances in the own zone for a touchdown. I only reference those 2 plays because ultimately it's going to come down to players. And does the other team have an answer for the playmaking ability that the Eagle players have? Xavier Worthy touched the ball 3 times. He scored 2 touchdowns. He was the difference in the game. As good as Lamar Jackson was last night, and he was tremendous. As good as Patrick Mahomes was. The difference was a skinny 165-pound rookie who danced in the end zone twice last night and was the difference.
Yeah, it was interesting. I talked to Andy. This is like early in the spring, and I loved Worthy because we talked about him from Texas, the whole thing, and I knew like he was like gushing over him. He's exactly the toy that, and he unfurled them. I mean, we've talked about him on this show before, and he unfurled them. So when I look at the Eagles, it's going to be fascinating to see how they deploy all their weapons. They have just so much. I mean, Kellen Moore has an amazing array of weapons at his disposal. I mean, you can't ask for any more.
No, you can't ask for anything more. You can't, You can't ask Jeffrey Lurie or Howie Roseman to do anything more than and all the repair work they did this offseason, from coaches to players to extending contracts and making sure they're here for a long time. I mean, I expect A.J. Brown to go off tonight. I just do. Like, he's a difference maker. He's our modern TO in this offense for that one splash season. That guy is an animal. And, the more you feed that guy, the more dangerous he becomes. So I want to see that. We got to see if Jalen is back. Is he going to read the defense? Is the ball coming out quickly and accurately? Is he going to bail too soon? I mean, some of the things that we all saw with our own eyes last year, are those things fixed going forward? Because it's a very, very good test against a very talented team. But it is about execution. I mean, you saw last night, Baltimore in the second quarter was a disaster. They fumbled it. They missed a field goal. They couldn't convert a fourth down. I mean, there's three straight possessions. All they do is give the ball back to Kansas City. They turned it into 6 points. It was the difference of the game.
Yeah, it's so interesting. They need to see if Jalen's back. You know that they're going to be expecting pressure, expecting blitzes, right? You know that Kellen Moore is going to give him the answers that he felt like he did not have last year. And the other piece of it is the middle of the field. When he's got to work that piece of it, you now have like Barkley out of the backfield, which he had never used, and Goddard is an interesting piece, right? Because you're going to have a linebacker on him.
There's no question. I mean, the spacing is important. The concepts are really important against what they're going to do. I mean, I would expect tonight a lot of man beaters up. I think that Kellen's going to expect a lot of man coverage from Heffley. And so, whether it's bunch formations, which we saw in preseason and practice, or whether it's like the switch routes that you run, trying to get guys free. I mean, I would expect that those things are, a lot of that is Jalen at the line of scrimmage, pre-snap reads. Okay, is this what they're giving us? Are they giving us this man look? And then what are we doing to beat it? And so I expect when you talk about answers, those are some of the answers that Jalen has in his back pocket that are available to him if he sees that look. And so, Heffley's not going to just play man. He's going to mix it up. But, those are some of the things that Jalen's got to see at the line of scrimmage. And I'm sure he has all the tools to get into those plays to be able to beat the anticipated coverage.
So not a lot of people know. They know the Packers are good. They know Jordan Love, but they don't realize the array of weapons that they have with Watson and Wicks and Reed and Musgrave. And now Jacobs. Explain the other side of the ball from the Packers' perspective.
Well, I mean, I think the Eagles are starting shorthanded. I mean, they're minus two starters right now. They're minus Devin White. They're minus Isaiah Rodgers. I mean, those are two starters that, throughout training camp, we were anticipating Devin White to be that middle linebacker on the field. He didn't make the trip. Isaiah Rodgers anticipated to be the corner opposite Slay. He's not there. So, I mean, regardless, you got to go play. But when you look at the development of Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks, Watson, Romeo Dobbs, the tight ends, whether it's Kraft or Musgrave, and now Josh Jacobs. I mean, that's a lot. And Jordan Love has all of the ability to read the defense and get the ball out hot on time. He has all the ability to back up and buy an extra tick and the arm strength to be able to deliver off his back foot. He has all the ability to feel the rush from Bryce Huff or Josh Sweat or Jalen Carter and, get out and move and extend. And honestly, I've said this from the first time I saw Jordan Love play in the fourth quarter against the Eagles 2 years ago. I said, if you took the name and the number off the back of the jersey, he reminds you a lot of Aaron. He just does. And I'm not saying he's going to be Aaron Rodgers. I'm just saying his footwork, his release,
delivery,
his arm talent, all of that stuff, it reminds you of a very young Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, it felt like he was watching. Like, having watched him, you're in your mind, you're replicating him, right? Like, and there's a piece of it. I'm completely with you. So how do you see it? How do you see it playing out?
Well, I want to see what commitment the Eagles have to the run game. Now, we felt like for whatever reason and whatever point of the season last year, they just got away from it. And there was no commitment to it. DeAndre Swift will tell you that. Every Eagle fan will tell you that. What's the commitment to Saquon in the run game? On 2nd and 7, are they staying with it? Are they going to, let the offensive line go to work? I mean, Mekhi Becton's the new right guard. He is an enormous, powerful man. Like, he's better in run blocking than he is at pass blocking right now at guard, which is all new to him. But I know Lane Johnson, the group up front, they'd love to attack Kenny Clark at 285 pounds on the interior of that defensive line. They'd love to go at, Slayton at defensive tackle, making, now the starting nose tackle. They'd love to attack right in the belly of that defense. Is there a commitment to that? But if there isn't, what is the game plan? Is it short passes, long runs? Is it West Coast principles? Is it putting the ball in Jalen Hurts' hands and letting him create? Like, I think we got to kind of let this thing unfold. But I'd love to see a real commitment to Saquon Barkley in this game.
Totally. And just to make the fan base that is watching right now feel better, because we had Angelo on this morning, Angelo Cataldi. He said 5 wins, right? In pure Ange fashion. To make them feel better, what's your outlook for this Eagles team?
I think the defense is going to get better as the season goes on. I think the talent is there, especially the young talent. But you got to let all these new pieces gel and play together. And we got to see what the depth on the defensive line is like. All right. We feel like they've addressed some of it, but we'll only know by who's on the field in the fourth quarter and who's still got a lot of juice left. Offensively, there's no reason why this can't be a top 5 offense. And if you're a top 5 offense, like last year, Miami was a playoff team. They were a very good team. They were a top 5 offense. The defense fell apart because of injuries. And maybe, Vic Fangio was a little too old school for some of these guys. But, there was enough to get 10 wins to get to the playoffs. Like, I feel like that's kind of where the Eagles are right now. Like, I think you start with 10 wins and you start with the top 5 offense. And then it's a question of, does the defense kick in? And like they did 2 years ago when they're putting up 70 sacks and they're just, playing with the lead and getting after the quarterback. And then, you get on the streak and you win a bunch of games and win the division. So I feel like that's where they're at right now. I feel like you start with 10, and then if the defense gels, comes together, stays healthy, you might get to 12, possibly 13.
I love that,
man. Maybe 13. That's what we need. That's what we need.
And that's true.
Yeah.
Listen to the way he said it, too. Start with 10. The floor is 10. Yeah. And then you work up from there.
Nice.
That's Baldy. All right, Baldy. What's been the best part of the trip? Because we're going to toast you in a minute. But this trip that started in Rio, and we saw you in the waves.
Suddenly found a super attractive Eagles fan down there on the nightlife.
Right. We saw you with the beautiful Eagle fans. What's been the best?
The nighttime talent exceeded expectations.
Rio is a top 3 city in the world. It just is an amazing place. Like, you would think it's 1985. The streets are packed, the cafes, the restaurants. You go to some of these churrascarias, like literally they never stop serving you. Never. The meat never stops coming. The beer never stops being poured. The after-hour drinks never stop. And then there's the next cafe to go to. And this. And you're just meeting, people from all over the world. But I would say the beaches of Rio, first of all, they're spotless. There's not a piece of paper on the beach. All right. The water is as clear as you can be and clean as you can be. And the waves are world-class waves. I mean, I'm talking about like world-class surfers. Like, there's juice and power behind those waves. Anything along the beaches in Rio, there's really nothing else that compares to it in the whole world.
Wow. JP, are you ready? Are they ready? All right, so listen, you talked about this. This is a Caprajena. All right? And you talked about the beauty of the Caprajena. Yes. So lead us into a toast about the Caprajena. Tell the people why they should drink these tonight.
Well, first of all, it has a lot of alcohol in it. It's going to do the trick. You're going to get the desired effect pretty quickly. As they're you're drinking these things like they're lemonade with a kick to it. All right. I mean, they're just that it's a great summer drink. The sun's going down, sun sets. You're getting into the night. You're getting into the festivities. A caipirinha in the hand. I mean, it is just. There's nothing better to toast to. And you could be toasting to anything, to the night's activities, to life in Brazil, to an Eagles victory right here, to the parade down Broad Street in February. You can make any toast you want at that point.
All right. Well, we want you to lead us into a toast to football. Football coming back.
I have had something to toast with here. I don't know what I have.
You got a water? Just get anything.
Baldy, how do you say
luck to do
no
it with
liquor
nothing.
in that fridge?
Baldy, how do you say
Here we
cheers
go.
in Portuguese?
Here's to the Eagles in Brazil, all right? Because they're coming back to Brazil. This thing is they're going to come back. These tickets sold out in 30 minutes. Vince has done an unbelievable job. Philly sports travel. It's unreal that the people, all the activities. I had people the other day, I'll get to the toast, jumping off this mountain with a kite and just hang gliding down into the mountains of Brazil all the way to the beach. Like fearless, okay? My man Jamie jumping off the mountaintop. Here's to Vince, Philly sports trips. Here's to the first game ever played in Brazil. And may we bring a victory home to South Philly tomorrow morning.
Go Birds! Go Birds!
Oh, delicious! That's freaking outrageous!
That's good.
Wow, that's nice.
Oh, Baldy! We love you, Baldy! Go Birds!
Obrigado, obrigado.
Baldy!
Yeah. Check it out. Thanks, cuz.
Sweet.
The greatest.
Oh, man.
Dude, JP
Nice
made
work on
these.
these, JP. It's fantastic.
This drink is delicious.
Good, man.
Dude,
Wow.
you did a great job.
Appreciate it.
What's the ingredients?
So it's really simple, guys. If you want to make it at home, it's just obviously you want sugar cubes. I don't have sugar cubes. I just did a little teaspoon of sugar. I mulled up a bunch of limes. Cuz loves a lot of ice, so I made sure he had a lot of ice. And then so I don't know. We should have asked Baldy how to pronounce this, but Kachaka. You can find this. I found this at Total Wines in Cherry Hill. Right.
Oh,
next
you
to the
did?
mall.
I'm going there tonight for that. I'm making these
They
tonight.
have
Yeah,
30
they're delicious.
Yeah.
3
My
different
girlfriend
types
and
of
I would love these.
Kachaka. And so this is Brazilian rum, by the way.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
nice.
Brazilian rum.
They call so years ago. Do you remember this? There was a place. It was like 2nd and South. It was a Brazilian place.
I don't.
It wasn't a steakhouse or anything. It wasn't any of those. It was a Brazilian restaurant. They had a bar right in the front of it, and I'll never forget. I was like, I love this place. Tam and I had the Brazilian firewater.
Yeah.
These were the Copperhanias.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it was like 2002. I mean, it was over 20 years ago
So
that this
refreshing.
place, we'd stumble onto this place.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's unbelievable.
And I have to say, man, it's weird out there walking around with the dog today. I guess because maybe school's just starting up. It's not a lot of Eagles gear. When I walked around the neighborhood for a half hour this morning.
Well, I was early.
So usually we got
Fridays
nighttime games on Sundays and Mondays. This is Friday. Happy hour better be off the hook in the city. I'm going to be bouncing around. 5, 6 o'clock, the city better be going because we got nothing to do tomorrow except wake up and watch college football. So I expect everybody to come out.
Well, you gotta
raging.
love a
Raging happy hours.
Friday night game.
Yeah.
Like a Friday night game is awesome. I don't know. Like I love. At first, I was like, it's weird. It's odd.
It is weird. It is
right.
odd.
Like it's all the things. But what I love is just the fact that wow, man, Friday night, man, that's cool.
Yeah.
Because then you got the whole weekend
Party.
and everything. Yeah. All right. So here's the deal. Want to thank all of our diehards for hanging out with us always here at PHLY. We got you covered. Our big Eagles preview, everything all day today. Stay with us. All right. So thank you to all of our diehards. We got OT coming. All right. So before we get to TV time, do we have our guys?
We have Black Gritty, yeah.
We got Black Gritty.
Black Gritty is here, yeah.
All right. We did this every week. All right. Every football Friday, my man would check in now with E-Rock and the Cheap Seats.
Great
My
show.
man, Black Gritty. BG!
Cuz JP, I got a number 31 on. I'm trying to look like VG. Well, who is it up there, young guy? Who's 31?
You have a Wilbur jersey on?
Okay.
He just said
Okay,
he wanted
young
to
kid,
get one
31.
earlier today.
I want one.
Hey, it's you and me, JP. I got you, young kid. You know what I mean?
I love you, bro.
Knowledge out there.
That's why I love him, man.
Wait, you got to call me
It's VG inspired. It's VG inspired, right? You know what I mean? VG, I had to go change the wardrobe real quick. Real G's, you know what I mean? That's right. Real G's wear throwbacks.
And our producer Andrew's got the Randall Cunningham on too.
Yeah, he's got a nice Randall one on.
That's how we do on Fridays, cuz that's how we do.
We're working on
the show.
Who's going to get a Trotter one? We're going to get Cuz a Trotter one.
Well, let's work on getting 5 wins before the bye week. I know the math ain't mathing on that, but I'm just saying I'm trying to get these wins in early, guys. I don't know what some people out here talking about, but I'm trying to make 2 for 1 out of one of these wins because I don't see 5 for the season. Baldy know what he's talking about. I know a whole lot of guys be on TV. They got a lot of money. They a lot of analyzers. They got a lot of numbers. But in Baldy, I trust. You start with 10 and you build. They beat the Packers tonight by more than 10. I might jump up to 15. I might jump out the window, okay? Because right now, this is the time of the year. This is the day. Because you know what it is. You out there sipping on that good drink. I wish I had some. You should have had me in the studio. Now I'm thirsty. You know what I'm saying? So, if you're sitting home right now and you're thinking any kind of thing about the Eagles that's not positive, shut your mammy jammy mouth. I don't want to hear it, okay? Love what? Love Hurts. He's going to get hurt tonight. You can't stop this offense for nothing. The defense, yes, I'm skeptical. But when you start walking the dog and you get up on people and they start throwing late, let Q go out there and get these interceptions, be rookie of the year, and show out and show and prove like I think he's going to do. Okay? Get cheesesteaks. What are they built on? Cheese. So melt them cheese heads down and put them on my steak, baby, because we're going to eat tonight. Okay, we're starting off, letting the league know what it is, where it at, where we're going to, and what we're going to be. I didn't go out and get Saquon Barkley for nothing. I didn't do it. I know it's Howie season. I put that crap on everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm sprinkling on the offensive line. I got it on the wide receivers. Yeah, we're young on defense, but so on the Green Bay Packers, they young everywhere. They got a new DC. Jordan Love threw 2 interceptions, walking on the field, ready to throw 30 yards in the 4th quarter. But you want to anoint this dude? Shut up. Jalen Hurts been to a Super Bowl. 2nd-rated Super Bowl quarterback in a long time. I don't care what nobody say. It's Friday. Go Birds. Let's get it. George W. on deck. Let's go! Go Birds. I missed you, cuz. I missed you. I missed you, cuz. Let's get it.
On the road to victory.
Hey.
Eagles fight. Score a touchdown. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2,
Push.
hit 'em high. And watch our Eagles fly.
Fly,
Eagles fly. On the road to victory.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
We love you.
Love you too, cuz.
Wow, that was awesome, man. Nice job. What you call Skeeves brought it up to another level.
Yeah, he's been on fire this week.
Skeeves brought it up to another level with his singing.
Oh, I mean, he's a professional.
It was all of us. It was all of us. Come on.
You know he raised the mic level on his mic.
Well, guess what? He should.
It's going to sound like
Actually, you guys, it was just me.
Listen, I say go ahead. How great was I still can't believe Ange come on. That Angelo comes on and says 5 wins. He's the greatest.
Out of his mind.
Start with a
I
bang.
mean, you know, it happens. When you're an older person, it happens.
Angelo was like that 30 years ago. And I know he loves them. So he's honest with that stuff.
We got Uncle Frank here.
Uncle Frank!
Oh, boy.
Uncle Frank! What are you saying?
Yo!
Oh, he's got the dog.
Uber.
The puppy.
You got the dog?
Yeah, that's Josie. Josie and I talk-
That's Josie. He was in Josie's cage, for the Sixers.
Yes. Josie and I talk more than myself and Mrs. Uncle Frank, probably.
Because you look great.
I gotta tell
Sunglasses look sharp.
Yeah.
You got the roof window open.
BG bringing the, I tell you, VG he notices everything. But how about BG bringing the alacrity, the eloquence? Wow. And following Baldy That guy's it. He ought to do he's the world's most interesting man. I told you he should do the
Yes.
next Dos Equis commercial.
Yes.
I mean,
with this camera angle.
Yes,
My
yes.
goodness.
yeah. I'm driving. Caputo, I'm driving.
Hold the phone. He's got a dog behind him.
Johnny shoes, and I want to hear Steve sing it solo. So,
Don't encourage
by the
him,
way,
Uncle Frank.
And I googled bring extra bed sheets. I googled Babylon Club opened in Brazil last year, so let's go. They know about Babylon Club.
They don't know about the Babylon Club. I love it.
All right.
I love Uncle Frank driving around Chester County right now. It's fantastic.
Nothing like this. No distracted driving going on here.
Listen, you've been at it a minute. All right. Give us what you feel. All right. Give us your vibe for tonight and for the season.
Well, first of all, God bless Angelo. He's on gummies. I'm thinking 11 to 12. I think Jalen Carter opens it up for the edge guys. I do, and I mean, the only thing that chaps my ass, boys, is we have a coach. We have a coach that is almost like slightly deposed. Authority.
Man,
Our
Nick taking snap
authoritarian.
all morning.
Well, Nick's in a hole right now.
First day of the season.
He put him in the bedroom. But I think tonight is a slugfest. I do believe in love, but I think there's just too many weapons. If I'm Jalen, I'm rubbernecking, man. So I love that score, 30-27. I may stick with that. What's the over/under on it?
The over/under is 49 on the Bet Park Sportsbook app.
Okay. That's a lock piece. Hey, are you gonna put? I'll be able to see the Brains picks.
Yes, we're gonna.
All 32 of them.
Yeah, the Brains picks will be up there.
And lastly, the NFLPA. I guess they had no say in this matter. Just curious.
No, I don't think so. I mean, they wouldn't have to go. They wouldn't have to run the schedule by them.
All right, Skeevy, come on, give me a solo.
There he is asking for it.
Hey.
Do it. Sing the song for Uncle Frank.
Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles.
Come on, back, boo. That's no thing.
I did it abbreviated. Come on.
Uncle Frank wanted you to get doing it up. Plus you were like timid.
I'll send him a video.
You were timid.
No, like.
VG, I
did it earlier. Come on, we'll get one a day.
I know. This guy. What is that?
We got Skylar
Uncle Frank, no, we get sued. Uncle
This is Uncle Frank.
Oh, Uncle Frank, no. No, hello. All right. You're the greatest. We love you, Uncle Frank. Go Birds.
I love you guys. Go Birds.
Go Birds. Uncle Frank, wild man that he is. Check it in. Crazy show. Listen, we're going to have a great weekend. We got the game tonight. And if you want to watch some good stuff tomorrow night, date night, you're going to be busy, right? You got all day Sunday. You got tonight. So tomorrow night, maybe you have date night. Let's bring in our man, TV Todd.
Act like a man. You can't handle the truth.
It's time for TV Todd.
Todd. Woo.
That is so unfair to put me on after Gritty and Uncle Frank like that. So unfair.
Bring the energy. Bring the energy, Todd.
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Give before. Oh, he's got the bird. He's ready. There you go, Todd.
Of course.
Now, what's TV Todd? How does TV Todd watch the opener?
TV Todd is heading to the shore after the show. I'm gonna watch the opener tonight at the shore, And then tomorrow night, and at VG, I think you're going to appreciate this. I'm going to head over to AC, and I'm going to see the original lineup of Love and Rockets and Jane's Addiction.
Oh, whoa.
Wow, Jane's Addiction. That's cool.
Let's go. Love and Rockets.
That's cool.
Big weekend. Big weekend, man. But tonight it's going to be at the beach, getting a cheesesteak, watching the game.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's awesome.
I love it. That sounds like a good weekend, man.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Give me a prediction.
Eagles 24-20.
Oh, low scoring.
I think it's going to be low.
time.
Anytime I
under.
hear everybody going high, I always feel it's going to be lower.
Oh,
Right,
right.
right.
Contrarian.
Yes.
Little
yes.
barn burner there, Todd, huh?
Yes.
That's right. That's right. But listen, there's no way I'm going 5 wins on the season. Come on, Angelo. Come on.
Yeah,
I
of course
can't believe Edge said that.
That's our new title of the show.
That's unbelievable. And he went 5 wins. You know how many wins, Ed? You're not going to like this, Ed. 5. What?
That's
Oh,
insane. If that happens, we're doing a collective leap off the Ben Franklin.
Oh,
That's
no. I
insane.
don't even want to think about it. God forbid.
That ain't happening.
Unbelievable.
Even if Nick was calling plays, that's not happening. Come on. Jesus.
He's got to take a shot at Sirianni. So what do we got in store this weekend? All right, because for those of us, we got big football, right? So you always want to make time to have a little date night, and you can watch something. So I know you always have great stuff for us.
Oh, absolutely. But I realize my place this weekend. I'm very self-aware that my content comes second to football. I get it. But I got a couple for this weekend. I'm going to do 2 and then 1 shameless plug. Let's start with the one I know, cuz you are excited for. I know you are. Starting Sunday night is a 2-part documentary series about David Chase and the Sopranos. And, it's not just the typical, documentary that's on linear cable all the time about the show, whatever. This is actually a sit-down interview that Alex Gibney is one of the best documentary filmmakers out there. He sits down with David Chase. By the way, the set's great because it looks like Melfi's therapy room.
Oh, so that's awesome.
He sits down there and he's going through the history of David Chase. He's going through the history of The Sopranos, how it changed the culture. I haven't seen any of it, obviously. I heard it is a fantastic documentary. And that's probably why, if you watch cable and you're one of these people who goes through the menus still, you'll see The Sopranos has been airing for the last couple weeks again. And this documentary looks really good. It's called Wise Guys, and it starts on Sunday night.
Sounds good. Yeah. I like this set. It's he's a fascinating guy, David Chase. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I think people are going to be into it. And like always, it's going to make people start watching the show again. That is a show that will be evergreen, right?
Yeah.
It will always come back. So I'm pretty excited about that. I love Alex Gibney's work. So I'm excited about that. Then there's I'll admit, I am not a huge fan of animated shows, right? I just, for some reason, I get in, I get out. I don't know. I don't love them so much. But I'm really interested in this animated series that is starting on Sunday night on Fox because it touches all of us, right? It's a show called The Universal Basic Guys. And what it is a series about these guys. They're called the Hoagie Brothers, Mark and Hank Hoagies, and they say Hoagies, they do the whole thing. Mark and Hank Hoagies. They're South Jersey guys, and somehow they lose their job to automation. They work in a hot dog factory. They lose their job to automation, but they're given $3,000 a month in a new basic universal income program, and they have to go out and spend it. And the trailer shows them wearing green, going to the stadium. I think it's going to be hilarious to all of us in South Jersey and Philly.
Who created it?
The guys that created it, I don't know if they're from South Jersey or not, but they've created a bunch of other animated series. And when they were interviewed, they said we needed to give the guys the full Hoagie accent, and they did the whole thing. So I don't know. I feel like we're going to love it.
This is Fox, Todd?
Yeah, it's Fox.
I'm in.
Wow, that's wild.
Cool.
Yeah, we got to watch it.
Yeah, of course.
I can't wait. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. And then lastly, I'll give you my shameless plug. I have a show that just started yesterday on Max called Coming from America. And it is a 6-part docuseries. They're going to, unfortunately, to my chagrin, drop 1 episode a week. But what it is it's a reverse migration docuseries, reality series about these 4 American families who decide to basically, they want to leave America and they want to go live in Africa. And we followed them out there, getting used to the culture, things they like, things they didn't like. I won't spoil what happens at the end, but we shot this probably about 2 years ago, and it just started airing on Max, and it hit the top 10 already. So
nice. That's
great.
Yeah, I didn't expect. I actually wasn't sure how this show was going to land, but obviously people were watching it last night. So Coming from America, give it a shout.
Cool. Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
If that's a success, we could do our show.
Yeah, you may
reverse
remember
migration show where the Garganos go to Italy.
That's right. And you may remember I was telling you about this show when we were talking about our idea.
We seriously have these meetings about doing this project, and you told us about it.
Yeah, because I still think it's a big deal. Like I think reverse migration. You hear it a lot from people.
It's just really interesting, the concept of all the ethnic groups coming here and then going back to see what their culture was like. So you get to experience it like, wow, like, did we lose we all Americanized to the point where the culture, where we came from doesn't matter? Or is there a part of you that still yearns for your home culture? It's interesting.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, I know it's been accelerated due to our political situation in the United States over the last few years, but you hear it from all your friends all the time. Oh, I want to go live in Europe, or I want to go live in, name the place, Italy, Greece, but
Don't
these
give the
families,
tagline, please. Our tagline is too good. Don't give it. Don't say it.
I'm not giving it away.
All right.
No spoilers here, cuz. No spoilers here, buddy.
Good man.
Hey, Todd, big release this weekend. What's the industry buzz on Beetlejuice?
What's funny is I haven't seen any reviews of the movie. I'm not sure if it was a movie that was even released to the critics. You know how they do that sometimes? Yeah. I haven't seen anything about it. I think it's going to be fun. If you go into it with the right attitude, I think it's going to be great. I saw the Joker sequel critics came out, just panned it. And you know what? It's a trend. Movies are getting panned by critics and then the audiences love them. Like Alien Romulus got panned and then the critics are going nuts over it. I mean, the audience is going nuts over it.
Right.
So you know what? Ignore it. Go see it. I think Beetlejuice is going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to definitely see it.
Cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think so, Ty. It's going to be a blast. All right, brother. Listen, let's get a head start on the weekend. Enjoy the game. Be careful when you drive to the shore. And enjoy your night. Tomorrow night, you'll be celebrating a Birds victory.
I love it. Thanks, boys. Let's go Birds.
Go
TV
Birds.
Todd. All right. Couple things.
Okay.
How the game's going to play out tonight.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to end every Friday with how the game.
Oh, can I play a video or two for you before we do that?
Yeah,
We
sure.
got time for that?
Yeah,
Fire you up?
Listen, let's do it.
All right. I got
We're
Emmanuel.
in overtime.
Double OT.
Emmanuel Acho is not the best, but he sounds like Emmanuel Gargano yesterday when he's on a show on Twitter. The way you're predicting or saying stuff about Jalen Hurts.
As talented as the Eagles offense. A world where you have a former Heisman winner, 1,000-yard receiver as your number 2 wide receiver. A world where A.J. Brown, a 1,500 wide receiver, is your number 1 wide receiver. A world where a top 20 pick is your number 3 wide receiver. A world where a top 5 pick is your starting running back. A second-round pick is your starting tight end. A first-ballot Hall of Famer is your starting right tackle. A $70 million man is your starting left tackle. And a $200 million man is your quarterback. You don't see offenses like this except for maybe once in a generation. As a result, Jalen Hurts, you have to capitalize on it. You got a Super Bowl offense around you. You got a Super Bowl head coach. He's been there. You are a Super Bowl quarterback. You've been there. You have to deliver a Super Bowl caliber performance. That's what Howie Roseman has given you. Now just go deliver. It's time.
Yeah. Listen, he's been there, right? He's got the ability. We saw him. He was incandescent that year. in that Super Bowl. One of the great performances in that Super Bowl.
Yep.
Made every throw, right? He can do it.
He can.
And with that team around him, this is it.
He can do it. He can do it.
This is it.
He's got it all, cuz.
That's where I go. There's no way in the world that they should be anything less than a Super Bowl contender.
I'm with you, cuz.
The autumn wind is here, so we need to do this every football
autumn
season.
wind
I
is a
watch
pirate.
this. So for the kids who don't know it, John Facenda, NFL Films. This is about the Raiders, but it's still good for football.
The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song, he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head, and a bristling black mustache. He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold. And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
Goosebumps,
Is
man.
that unbelievable? The autumn wind is a pirate.
I'm ready to Oklahoma drills down the park.
Rocking from sea to sea.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So-
He'll here to steal your gold.
The old school voices are so soothing, man.
Oh my God. That was
The
unbelievable.
Writing on that, it was so good.
Oh my God. That is incredible.
Do you know the barbarians at the gate of Rome?
Yeah.
All right. I found this one. I had never seen this before.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Sensing the collapse of the cowboy empire, they stood like barbarians.
That slot, run past 49, toss, halfback option, pass, and a go down. Charlie, heads up, buddy. Go down. Set, go.
Practice made perfect. Plays formulated on the training field, translated into
I had never seen that before.
That's unbelievable.
The
Like barbarians at the gates of Rome.
Oh, man. Descriptions is insane.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
High level stuff like
More
this.
spit than polish.
Now, where was that field in South Philly? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was right near the parking lot, or the parking lot of the vet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It looked like a state. It looked like an actual.
I couldn't tell. I gotta look back at it.
That just pumped me
fascinating.
up, that video.
Yeah,
I am
yeah.
so
Was
ready
that
for tonight.
unbelievable?
I'm
The
so ready for
old
tonight.
NFL film stuff
Ready to go.
is just so
Oh my
damn
God,
good.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
ridiculous. Wow, we got to get that video. We all got to circulate that all day today. All right, on social media. Anyway, that's going to do it for us. What a day, man. All right, real quick. Like, final thoughts of the game. All right, we're going to go around the horn. So, Skeeves, I'll start with you. How do you see it playing out? Give me a score. Play the game.
All right, how do I see it playing out? I think Saquon's going to be a big feature tonight, really big feature tonight. I think we're going 30-21 Birds.
30-21 Birds. I love it.
I like it.
Give it to me, JP.
All right, so I want to, again, guys, week 1, it's not going to be pretty football, but I think at the end of the day, when you have so much uncertainties on both sides, you need your star players. Jalen Hurts starts off quick here tonight. I got 38-31. Go Birds.
38-31.
Wow.
Yes. What do you got?
I'm 34-20.
34-20.
Yeah, I think A.J. Brown is a big game tonight.
Wow. I got a even higher score.
Oh.
I think it's going to be somewhere around 41-37.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah. I think it's an shootout in the OK Corral, Sao Palo style.
That'd be fantastic.
Sao Palo. I think it's going to be a wild night. I think Jalen throws for 3 touchdowns. I think Barkley gets in the end zone. I think Jahad Dotson gets in the end zone. I think it's one of those wild games. I think he throws for like 360.
Ooh,
right?
Hey, give me an over-under on rushing yards for Jalen.
I could see
over like 18.
No, I was going to say like in the 30s.
Oh yeah,
I was saying the 40s.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a big. I think the Green Bay will score, but I think it's going to go back and forth. I think an old school, OK Corral shootout tonight.
Yeah,
I'm feeling it.
It's gonna be fun.
Birds win, and we all go wild. Everybody, what a night, man! It is. Let's face it. The time we love is here. My God. Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy the game. We love you. Go Birds!
Go Birds!
We all silly like the mayor.